Have your sports curiosity cured.
McDavid to Nugent Hopkins. Back to Bouchard. McDavid cuts in front. Pitches. What a star! This game is tied. Draisaitl, second of the game, is the equalizer.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
So it's 4th down and goal. Mahomes out to his right. Back across for the touchdown to Hunt. His second of the night.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Center field. Has gone back. He's at the track. He's at the line. It's gone. Perkins changed game 3 with a 3-run shot.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Sol 529, Tuesday, October the 28th. All a guy can say is, wow, what a game last night in the World Series. If you made it to the very end, like some of us, you're probably a little tuckered out today, but 6 hours, 39 minutes, an absolute classic of all time in the Fall Classic. The Jays just edged by the Dodgers 6-5. Now trail the World Series 2-1. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial on your morning drive into work on a Tuesday morning or wherever you're heading out. Today, you can also watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. We've been going at it for a couple of months now, and we're liking the little bit of a change from just radio to YouTube for sure. And we would love for you to drop us a like and a subscription. We're on X, Facebook, Instagram too. We're always streaming on all the platforms, iHeart, the radio TuneIn app, sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of the show, it turns into one of the many, many podcasts that are out there. Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon. Just subscribe, select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of the show. Yeah, I mean, absolutely phenomenal. Last night, 6 hours, 39 minutes, 18 innings. That ties a World Series record for the longest game ever. 19 pitchers used. That's a record. 609 pitches thrown. That's a record. They only had 29 strikeouts. It was kind of weird. There was a lot of bat on ball, was there not? Like it just deeper into counts and fouls and this and that. Combined plate appearances, 153. I mean, the numbers are astonishing. And again, you're playing 2 games in one here. And the biggest stat of them all, because that's why the game went so long, 37 combined runners left on base in scoring position, 37, basically half and half, 18, 19. So it was just an absolute doozy. The Jays just ran out of guys. They didn't, once they made the changes and lost, of course, George Springer to the injury, and that is going to be the biggest story today. Can George Springer somehow go tonight in Game 4? After Bichette came out, after Barger came out, after Kirk came out, they had no oomph left. They had nothing. They had no, it was almost like, okay, how many more at-bats till Vladdy can get around? And even Dalton Varsho, because maybe he can put a charge into one. And it seemed like the same thing for the Dodgers. I mean, once you got to the bottom of the order after the top 6, you're going, oh man, all their guys are still in, but they're not stringing anything together. And if they are hitting it, it's going to the wall, and Dalton Varsho's making a great catch at the wall, or they just didn't have enough until Freddie Freeman catches one in the 18th inning off of Brendan Little, and that's the difference in the game. The solo home run, only the first player to hit 2 walk-off World Series home runs, Freddie Freeman. I mean, the brilliance that we saw last night on so many levels from relief pitchers. I mean, Will Klein, come on now. 4 innings, he gets the win. Sandy Koufax, 89 or 90-year-old Sandy Koufax is at the game, stayed till the very end, goes down into the dugout and congratulates Will Klein, the first guy, because of what he did. Like, I mean, his pitch count would be double of what he would normally throw. But Shohei Ohtani, I mean, what we're witnessing here is just pure excellence. 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 5 walks last night. So they walked him the last 5, 4 intentional. The last one, you might as well chalk that up to being intentional because, I mean, Little gave him nothing to hit. The 2 home runs, 2 doubles, first time in over 100 years, actually 1906. Old Frank Isbell for the White Sox did it. And you know what? After 18 innings, 9 plate appearances, he's going to pitch tonight. Will the Jays pitch to him? That will be the question. I mean, there's so many things to unpack here. It's almost like you could just keep talking and talking and talking. I mean, you almost forget that Max Scherzer started for the Jays. Alejandro Kirk had, again, another massive hit, 3-run home run in the 4th. Kirk with 8 home runs in his last 16 games. You could feel a little deflation come out of the Jays dugout when George Springer swung, grabbed for his right side. There was that, this ain't good. Obviously left the game. Will he be able to go tonight? The best, you can talk about home runs. You can talk about pitching. But defense in baseball, there's a beauty to it, is there not? And I mean, there were so many defensive plays that were made. And before people get talking about, oh, yeah, that was a bad send by the third base coach, or that's a bad first to third by IKF, or this or that. I mean, you got to be aggressive in games like this. And you have to force other teams to make those defensive plays. And boy, did they make them last night. I mean, Addison Barger in the bottom of the 3rd inning to gun down Freddie Freeman at home with an absolute BB that, I mean, I don't know if it got 4 or 5 feet off the ground. This thing was right there, and it was there in time. There was the Vladimir Guerrero slide at home plate where he danced around, tapped the dish. That was amazing. Vladimir Guerrero's awareness to gun down Teoscar Hernandez at third base in the bottom of the 6th inning. And I mean, you have to get like that. It was 90 miles an hour or whatever. You have to get so much on the ball. And a great tag by Ernie Clement at third. The best player defensively for the LA Dodgers, without a doubt, was Tommy Edman. When he got IKF in the top of the 9th, I mean, phenomenal throw to third. You can talk about IKF maybe, I mean, they talked about it maybe a little less lack of awareness of where the ball was after the ball went off of Freddie Freeman's glove. But I mean, you got to still make a perfect throw, and he did. Same thing on the relay after the double, I guess if you want to call it, down the line in right field, where there was, in the 10th inning. I mean, that is an Edman from Teoscar Hernandez relay that Teoscar Hernandez is no screaming hell in the outfield. He makes a perfect peg to Edman, and then another perfect throw to home. The only reason Vladimir Guerrero scored on his going to home was the ball was offline. That ball's online. Vladdy's out. So, I mean, you got to force teams to make plays, and more often than not, they made plays. You can look at managing, and we talked about it with the guys in studio here before. The only one questionable call that John Schneider made was taking Barger out and putting Straw in at that point. Because you're taking him out for a pinch runner. It's not like you're doing lefty-righty at the dish. Barger can get around the bases, man. Straw, that leaves you another guy, another option. It just depleted the lineup. They had nothing. They had no power. Take Springer, Bichette, Barger, Kirk out again. As I said, you were just waiting for guys to be the lineup moving so you could see a Vladdy get up. Text 833-401-1440. A lot. Okay, Bobby. Morning, gentlemen. Why didn't they walk Otani in the 7th? That was a bad decision to pitch to him. Well, not necessarily, Bobby. The bad decision is to throw a 97-mile-an-hour pitch right down the middle of the plate. That's the decision. I mean, you got to move it around on this guy. You're not giving him that pitch. Unreal like that. I mean, that was by Sir Anthony Dominguez, and that was the one that, I mean, because you're up 5-4, and that one really hurt him. 833-401-1440. Lots of text rolling in. Heartbreak Nation from here. Yeah, you got to be able to rebound here, man. So Bieber's going to go against Otani. You're going to have guys in the bullpen that are taxed a little bit. Hey, hats off to, I mean, Eric Lauer comes in and throws almost 4 innings. Amazing performance at the end of the game. 4 2/3, in fact. And I wouldn't peg this on Little. I mean, he threw 1 inning. How many times have you seen Little throw more than that? And I mean, for him to get out of the 17th, I thought it was a hell of an effort. And again, he had Freddie Freeman in a full count, I think it was. I got to make sure on that one. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, someone's going to end this game. There's no pitchers left. There's no pitchers left. I mean, Yamamoto's warming up. Bieber's looking at it. I mean, maybe they would be looking at a Gosman or even Savage. You know, I mean, that's where they were right now. Hey, let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne. Duke, did you make it all the way up till 12:48?
I did.
Not a boy.
Yeah,
Duke.
it was. The football game was over, which happened about 4 hours previous. Did lots of little things around the house. I'm still, kind of haphazardly moving one truck full of things at a time. So I bring in an armful of bags full of stuff, and in between half innings, go over to the kitchen, tuck some stuff away in the cupboards, get some things organized, get some appliances hooked up, all that. So it was a very productive evening. Even if by a certain point I ran out of those things to do because the game just kept going and going and going. I even got to the point where I was doing today's Wordle and crossword and everything because the clock had rolled over past midnight, so they were available to me.
Oh, well, don't say. No
Spoilers. I know not everybody's had the opportunity to dip into it yet. So listen, it was a hell of a baseball game, and you and I, Kevin, I think are kind of like mine in the sense that, yeah, seeing guys mash home runs every inning and stuff is cool. That's a great element to the game. But what we saw last night on the defensive side of the ball from guys on both teams, you mentioned Tommy Edman, who is just exceptional.
But he also had that error that led to the inning,
it's
right?
Very true. It's very true. And it's a game that goes that long. It's kind of just a matter of time before somebody does make a mistake. We talk about it in playoff overtimes with hockey, right? It's the mental fatigue that kind of wears you down a little bit. And then it's just a small mistake that eventually leads to the game coming to a close. Dalton Varsho, my guy on center field. I don't know if any of his catches were necessarily spectacular, but it's kind of almost just like a bit of a calming presence because every time, I mean, hey, Will Smith, he was certain it was out right off the bat. He kind of pimped it a little bit, comes up right at the track, like would have been off the top of the wall. But Varsho's just so calm out there. It's just like an assumption that if it's catchable, he is going to catch it. And that proved true last night. Made as best of an effort as he could on the Freeman one, but, a few feet too deep over dead center field. You mentioned Eric Lauer. I think, if that goes the other way and the Jays skate out of this with a win, it's his game ball or game, whatever token they have for player of the game, because that type of effort out of the pen when you haven't pitched that many innings or at bat for months here, right? Going back to when he was taken out of the rotation. So, and even when he was in the rotation, he wasn't exactly a guy that was going into the 7th and 8th inning on regular occasions.
He threw 68 pitches last night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think his game high this year would be into the 80s, but that was when he was in the starting rotation.
Pitching every 4th or 5th day, right? Getting used to it and being stretched out. So many commendations to go around on both sides of the ball. And listen, we talked about Freddie Freeman, how he was going to be a story in this series because of his ties to Canada with his mom and wearing the Maple Leaf internationally. And he gets his moment and sets a little history, several different history moments last night with Shohei Ohtani's day at the plate, being on base 9 times. Freeman with the 2nd World Series walk-off, tied for the longest game in World Series history. It was a really cool night, even if it did stretch into the wee hours of the morning for us, let alone the people out east watching.
And 2:00 in the morning out there. And just unfortunately, I mean, one team had to lose. And
Yeah.
I mean, they talked about it. It's going to be elation for one and heartbreak for the other. And you have to just find a way to get some resolve, find a way to get back into it and come out with a good performance today. Because, I mean, you got to go into the dugout and say, we're right with these guys. We're not supposed to. We're not. These guys are better than us.
And that's almost, I think, maybe the more impressive part of last night's effort by the Jays in particular is that, John Schneider did pull some of their best bats out of the lineup pretty early in the contest. And obviously you have no idea, no indication that the game is going to turn into the length of 2 separate baseball games all rolled into one. But the lineup the Jays were rolling out there, like, on paper, the Dodgers should have won this in the 10th.
Yes.
Right? Let alone the 18th. So you got to give credit to the guys, even if the work at the plate didn't really yield much in terms of results.
Off.
But they grinded. They were out there for 6+ hours of the game. You got to go hats off to both sides. And it's unfortunate that somebody had to lose. And like you said, hopefully you can park that and come back to work today with a fresh mindset.
And the other thing too is, I mean, the guys like, okay, we'll see if Springer can go. But Bichette's they need more from him now because, even though he's hurt. But Barger and Kirk will be fresher than all these guys from the Dodgers. I mean, look at Will Smith.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Doubleheader, both behind the plate and going to the dish. What was it, 7 or 8 times total by the time it was
9,
done? So
probably.
Very, very, very impressive.
Yeah, 8 because he would have been up after
Freeman.
Freddie, Anyway, Oilers in action tonight too. We'll bust that down probably at 7:40. Utah in town. Oilers won all 3 against Utah last year, but hey, man, the Mammoth are really smoking hot right now. Winners of 7 in a row. When we come back, we're going to bust this Blue Jays game down a bit more with Nick Prasad from Blue Jays Nation. We got Mark Spector and Frank Saravalli in the 8:00 hour. Terry Poole, old Melvilleite. Terry Poole, probably the best positional player that played in Major League Baseball before, the likes of Larry Walker and all these guys like Joey Votto and Justin Morneau came along. Terry Poole was a phenomenal baseball player. In the 1980 NLCS, his batting average was in the 500s. That's how good of a player this guy was. Matt Coma from NHL.com covers the Utah Mammoth. And then the big Seslowski, Alan Seslowski from RotoWire, covers NFL and fantasy football, will be with us in the 10:00 hour as well. When we come back, Nick Prasad from Blue Jays Nation. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook.
Wow. Ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice. EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365. UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service. Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project. Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights? Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Karius and Jason Greger, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
to Sports 1440.
Hey there, this is your wake-up call. It's time to change to your winter tires. Unless you want to be sliding and swerving around icy roads like you're some kind of dummy. Head to Big Toy Shop and get it done right for a great price. We won't lie to you, inflate your bill, or waste your time. Time to change your tires. Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. 780-298-2797.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE. your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Nectar.io. Learn more about how we can help your business automate processes, streamline operations, and save money at Nectar.io. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
Big program 721 in Edmonton. Jays were close to getting it all and wanting it all last night, but so close. And time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where their biggest sale of the year includes the all-new 2025 Jeep Compass. Hey, it's a Jeep. It's a 4x4. It includes that 8.4-inch touch screen. It's got the keyless entry. It starts at $34,900 only at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome in Nick Prasad from Blue Jays Nation. Morning, Nick. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
Did you get any sleep last night?
You know, I'm struggling right now. I called it quits in around the 14th inning.
You did, huh? Oh, man.
Yeah. You know what? Like my thought process in my 4 hours of sleep was thinking like, what's happening? And for some strange reason, I had a dream. You know, this is really crazy that Freddie Freeman hit a bomb. Wow. I thought about a grand slam, and then I woke up and realized that I probably replayed last year's World Series in my head, and Freeman's bomb came to fruition.
Well, he's that's the first time. So, two-time walk-off game-winning home runs for Freddie Freeman, the Canuck, and that's the difference in the game. But I mean, this is one for the ages. I mean, you're looking at all the numbers and all the players and what everything happened, how it happened, what everybody did. I mean, this was just something else last night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, to go the distance and to think that it was a one-run game. You know, both teams left around 18, 19 runners on base, and it was flip-flop back and forth. Everyone's talking about the Dodgers being extremely, extremely like dangerous from top to bottom of that lineup, which they are. They're built to be a really high-performing offensive team, but we're right there. I mean, a one-run game in the 18th inning, and then to think about that the Dodgers were possibly going to have their game 2 starter potentially get ready to come in, which is unbelievable to me. But like that really goes to show you kind of where their thought process was with winning that game.
The biggest question for tonight revolves around George Springer. You saw him go down in the 7th inning. What do you think the chances are of Springer playing tonight?
I mean, he's battled quite a bit with his injuries and like what he's been facing these past couple of weeks. And I think for him to leave that game last night means that it's something more than just the quote unquote oblique strain that people seem to think it is. So I really do think that I don't think he's going to be in the lineup today. And I do, you know, we all hope that he's there. I mean, to have him in the leadoff spot is very important. You know, the entire postseason, he's been an addition and a great value to the team. But I don't think George Springer pulls himself from a game if it's not serious.
So obviously, if Springer can't go, that changes the lineup a lot. But would it be automatic that Bo Bichette is DH?
I believe so. I believe that's sort of the automatic option. And where he fits in the lineup, I don't know. Do you move everybody up a spot and have Lucas lead off? I think that might be the go. And I think, Bichette being who he is and having, somewhat of a game yesterday, despite some debacle on the base pads there. I think he's probably your guy to get in there and probably the most trustworthy bat to have.
Nick Prasad from Blue Jays Nation, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. We talk about a lot of runners left in scoring position. You mentioned it, but the Jays are batting just 177, Nick, since that 9-run sixth inning in Game 1. Why do you think the bats have cooled off? Is it just a combination of what we saw in Yamamoto in Game 2 and then the fact that yesterday went 18?
Yeah, I feel like I was there for the game, for Game 2 against Yamamoto, and obviously they haven't seen that guy and they haven't seen his repertoire, and it really kind of swept them off of their feet. And I think from there they weren't able to bounce back, to their normal approach to the offense. And I feel like their offensive approach in general has changed back to the, hit it hard, hit it far. Yeah, the home runs aren't there, but I think, bat to ball, hit it up the middle, that type of approach, they're kind of swaying away from, and they're taking more pitches than they should. And, they're really against good Dodger pitching. You're going to see very little fastball. I mean, everyone's depending on that splitter and a slider now. So if you're not getting your pitch and you're not looking for that pitch early on, it's going to be tough. And I think the approach has to be there, and that's what's missing.
What did you make of the defense last night, Nick? I mean, we haven't seen plays like this. There were a couple of errors, but the amount of just on the mark throws from all over the field, simply amazing. What'd you make of that?
I mean, we harp a lot on offense when we talk about players, and that goes for myself as well. We always talk about the bat of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. or the bat of Addison Barger, and we really harp on just the one side of the baseball. And I was actually very impressed to see everything that was practically in the scouting report on the defensive end and the plus arms of these guys actually play out when it mattered. And I think that, that all played into this being a one-run game. And, we saw runners getting thrown out. We saw guys challenging throws. So it's definitely, in my opinion, I think was a very, very big ingredient to the entirety of the game yesterday.
What about the strategy against Shohei Ohtani? I mean, the guy hits 2 home runs, 2 doubles. 7th inning, they could have put him on. They put him on the rest of the night from there. But are you more the concern level about how he was pitched to by Sir Anthony Dominguez? I mean, that was a bullet right down the middle compared to pitching to him at all, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I believe there was a mound visit prior to that at bat, and I thought for sure we were getting the 4 sign for the walk. Or, pitching around Ohtani's, it's tough. I mean, there's only so many spots that you can try and hit that you won't get burnt. But when he threw that ball right down the pipe, I think that put me in awe. I didn't know what to say, or I didn't have very many positive or appropriate language to use during that situation. But yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what the mound visit was for, because clearly it didn't amount to what they wanted. And it took a very crucial part of the game for them to realize that. And 7th inning, kind of late, to be chancing things with the best hitter in the game. I think from now on, he gets the Aaron Judge treatment, and he probably won't see many at bats.
You know what? I have no problem really pitching to him in the 7th. You can talk about it, to be honest with you, but I mean, it's how you pitch to him. And I mean, that pitch was right down, it was dead red, right in the middle. It was 97. It wasn't like it was 101 or something like that. So, I mean, if the execution is there and you're pitching to him low and outside or high and tight, I think there's the probability that he's not going to do as much damage. I mean, are you on that side? Where are you at with that, Nick?
I definitely agree with that. I mean, he was having a game yesterday, right? So he was on point. It was a crucial part of the game. I mean, either or could have worked, but absolutely the command, pitch location obviously wasn't thought of there by Dominguez. And I think I've been saying this through the entire Dodger lineup. You can't miss and you can't make mistakes because from top to bottom, maybe except for the ninth hitter in that lineup, they're going to do damage, right? And we've seen that with Teoscar Hernandez. We've seen that with Will Smith. And so again, with Ohtani, that's not somebody that you play with. Even if you do walk him on 4 pitches, right, that you challenge him. But in that situation, I mean, you kind of got to read the room and figure out, who you deal with next, right? So I do agree that pitching around him would absolutely make sense, but I wouldn't be opposed to giving him all 4.
Nick Prasad from Blue Jays Nation, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. How do you think both managers used their bullpens today in game number 4? We're going to see Bieber versus Ohtani, so he's hitting and pitching tonight. But how do you see? To me, the only guy that's not available out of the Blue Jays bullpen is likely Eric Lauer.
Yeah, I mean, Snyder's been pretty good with load management and ensuring that guys are coming out, they're working an inning or 2 innings, or they have a matchup that they're working on. So I mean, Louis Varland pitched last night. He pitched an inning and then 1/3. Bassett, I thought Bassett could have gone longer yesterday. I know there's a lot of talks about the trust and the reliability in Bassett, but I believe he's available again. Lauer's definitely not going to be coming back out. But I do think it's set up to be deep again today. I mean, obviously hoping that Bieber, gets through 5 to 6 and can make things very, very painless for that bullpen.
Hey, what did you make of that second inning? And thankfully, I mean, it got to the 18th and it likely didn't have a bearing on it. But I mean, the umpiring yesterday at home plate was questionable, very questionable at best. But when Bo Bichette was picked off in the second inning, and Bo's got to be better too here. He's got to be better. But I mean, Varsho threw the bat. That probably triggered Bo to get picked off. And it was a call that was late, and it was 3, 4, 5 inches out of the strike zone. But what did you make of that sequence?
I rewatched that play a couple of times, and it really was a simple, everyday thing. Guy sees a pitch, thinks it's ball 4. That doesn't change what that runner's doing on base. Like, you got to be sure that that's the call, regardless of what the umpire said, right? I mean, if the ball's still in play, if you're standing on the bag, you're standing on the bag and you're waiting for that. Like, there's no rush, right? I watched that video a couple of times, and I seen Bichette do a little twirl. He wasn't even paying attention. Yeah. Like, that's really not heads up. And you're on base. You're not there to make that call. Wait for the call. It was a really terrible call to begin with. So I understand why everybody on that field thought the same thing, but it was bonehead base running.
Yeah, I mean, a lot was. I think he just, as soon as Varsho tossed his bat, he was, well, okay, because you can't hear anything. I mean, it's loud in there and things like that. But I put a lot of this on Bo Bichette too. I mean, he's got to be more aware. When you look at the lineup, so again, is it pretty simple that you think just like IKF starts at second, Bichette DHs, and as you said, everybody moves up one spot in the lineup. So as you said, you could have Lucas leading off, maybe Vladimir Guerrero bats second, Bo Bichette bats third, and Varsho fourth, and followed by Kirk and Barger. What are you thinking here?
I definitely think it's probably like a one spot up type thing. You can't recreate what Springer does in the top of the lineup. That's definitely not replaceable. Really, the top of the lineup is what I'm concerned about, and Lucas. A lot of analysts now are saying that maybe he's not built for the leadoff spot, but at the end of the day, he's hitting second in your lineup. Anybody in the first 3 spots of that lineup is capable of leading off and making, he's a contact hitter, bat to ball, gap to gap. Like, he's a guy that could definitely benefit from seeing that pitcher first, and getting a barrel on ball. So IKF, I do like him despite, some questionable plays and questionable decisions that he makes, but I do like him on the defensive end. I do like him on the offensive end. He's very seldom, but he's very streaky at times as well. And I think he's a pretty good addition to this postseason roster. So I definitely think it's just like a spot up and have those replacements set.
You hoping for a 9-inning game tonight, Nick?
Yeah, I'm hoping for a quick 9-inning, like a Roy Halladay type 9-inning game because I need my sleep.
Yeah, like a 2.5-hour jobby. You never know. A lot of times this happens because the pitchers are so zoned in and locked in, and they're moving quickly, they're pitching quickly, and you never know. Maybe we see something that really moves along. That's 6 hours, 39 minutes, man. That was like a full shift there.
Yeah, and I blame this on my buddies because a bunch of us were working for the team years ago where it was a Saturday game in Toronto, and the game went 18 innings, and they used to do Junior J Saturdays back then.
Yeah.
That got canceled, and then they had a 1 p.m. game the next day. So we made a joke about it last night. I think we just jinxed the entire thing.
Hey, thanks for doing this, Nick. Enjoy game number 4 tonight and the rest of the series. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
That's Nick Prasad from Blue Jays Nation, and our game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. Again, the biggest sale of the year is on right now. It's got the Jeep Compass from 2025. It's a 4x4. It's only $34,900. That's where they're starting at, only at stalbertdodge.com. Tons of texts, 833-401-1440. Burrow to Chase says the third base coach should be replaced. That's Carlos Fablis. I disagree. Sorry, Burrow to Chase. I mean, you got to be aggressive. And again, he sent Vladimir Guerrero. That one worked out because the throw to home plate was not executed at a level of, on a 0 to 10 level, if you want to count it, at 10. It was executed at maybe an 8. But he scored because that's where it was executed. If that is executed like the other throws, to the plate or to third, he's out. You have to be aggressive and put something on the other team here to make them make the play, especially when you're looking at, the possibility here of maybe not even getting up to another at bat. That's the way it goes. And we saw that in the 12th inning, and things were tight, and the 10th inning. You gotta send guys, and it's not like these guys were out by 10 feet. There were some close plays. I know they reviewed the Schneider one. They thought possibly that Smith could have blocked the plate illegally, but the ball got there sooner. Again, that is executed to a T. You gotta be aggressive. It's a World Series, man. And then, a lot of people were talking about that one when you did send Schneider and Vladimir Guerrero's up in the 10th. Well, Vladimir Guerrero was getting walked then. It is that simple. He's not getting an at bat. So he is getting walked. He's getting put on. So, man, just so many great storylines for last night. It was so cool. The only bad thing is that the Jays just couldn't find a way to win with the depleted lineup. When you take Springer, Bichette, Barger, Kirk out of the mix, there's just not any pop. There's no oomph. There's nothing left. It was a miracle they got it to 18. It was a miracle they got it to 18. When we come back, we'll bust down the Oilers in Utah a bit. Talk about maybe the Thursday night football game. 28-7, Kansas City over Washington. Really slow start for Patrick Mahomes. Came on at the end, and Travis Kelce caught touchdown 83. That's tops or tied for tops in Kansas City history. So that's all coming up. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost.
1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. Like a trick set. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Looking for an all-season vehicle with room for the hockey gear, comfort for the daily commute, and rugged capability for your weekend adventures? That's the all-new 2025 Jeep Compass, and you'll find it during the biggest sale of the year this month at St. Albert Dodge. Now, what can I say? It's a Jeep. It's a 4x4. and it's loaded with standard features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, keyless entry, and heated front seats. All starting from just $34.9. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
The future of female hockey is here. It's season 2 of the Female Super League, the first ever female-only independent hockey division in Western Canada, with teams from British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Featuring 16U, 14U, and 12U divisions, the FSL brings showcase weekends packed with thrilling games, and our 14U and 16U have been pioneering the advanced body checking rule, empowering young players. The Female Super League, where the best in female hockey takes center ice. Details at femalesuperleague.com.
Well, looks like those hot, sunny days are done. No more birthday soup by the pool for this guy.
Ew.
You're welcome, neighbors. Back to faux fur and flannel because it's fall, and it's also the perfect time to tackle those projects we've all been putting off, starting with a trip to Metal Supermarkets, of course. Metal cut to your precise measurements fast. The local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
3 locations, endless sports action. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. Sully's is the place to catch every game this fall. With tons of TVs, there's never a bad seat in the house. Check out the game night food and drink features and bring your friends for all the fun with Oilers watch parties all season long. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:43 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. There was something going on there, eh? BA and Diana Duke, eh?
They're just friends.
No.
Good friends.
Not a chance.
Really good friends.
I don't know. There's a lot of the Diana documentaries. There seems to be more and more that are just coming out.
I don't think I've ever seen one of them.
Really?
No.
I've seen quite a few of them. I enjoy them.
You're quite infatuated with the royal family and its happenings.
Well, I think I told you when that, the fact that she was in that car accident when it came out, it was around 6 o'clock. I was working in Saskatoon, and we had you guys don't understand what this is, but a wire service with a big printer, the size of this room.
Right.
And it would spit out nonstop. Just all day. But sometimes when there was an alert, it would make a sound. Anyway,
breaking news alert.
Yeah. So this comes across the wire, and I went, Krista Platzer, she used to work at A Channel here years ago. I went and handed her to her on the desk. And she didn't read it because she thought I made it up. Well, everyone was playing jokes, especially stuff like that. And of course, it was no joke, but that's how it went back in the day. Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. Get on the action with hockey. We got NHL tonight, of course, Oilers and Utah. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. 100% legal. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Text 833-401-1440. Man, oh man. And they're coming in and some great ones. I get everybody's point of view and I love it. Thanks to Andy. I'm sorry, KK, but you'll never convince me that they should have thrown to Ohtani in the 7th inning. Not only is he already killing us, he's the best baseball player. If you walk him and negates the tater right down the pipe. Well, okay. Look at it this way too. I said pitch to him, but carefully, not 97 down the middle, Andy. I never said pitch to him in that sense. I said you got to be more careful with them. And let's be honest, the game could well have been over earlier. Ohtani steals second after an intentional walk and only is tagged out because he lifts his leg off the base. The guy stole 50 bases 2 years ago, stole 20. He's a threat everywhere he is. I think you just you pitch to him, but you're not giving him much to hit. See if he's going to chase. See if he'll go outside the strike zone, Andy. So I'm not saying put him on all the time. There are times, but there are times when you're going to have to throw to him, but you got to be extremely, extremely careful. So many guys, Jay in Victoria. Wow, what a late one. Well, if you're in Victoria, Jay, I hope you are. Yeah, and you are. Yeah. Stayed up. Lots of interesting moves. One good thing is all our big hitters should be fresh. We talked about that. Yes. And yeah, you're in Victoria. The Pacific time zone helped. Klaus says, I watched the whole thing, went the distance, slow morning, strong coffee. Chomskers. Off to work. Have a good day, boys. It was a long one as well. Craig and Red Deer. Guys, the third base coach needs to visit the optometrist this morning. Again, the other team is executing plays to a T here. You have to be aggressive on the base paths. It's not like these guys were DOA with, 2-3 feet. I mean, Schneider's was bang on you couldn't ask for a better relay. And again, Fabulous knows Teoscar Hernandez and right. He's seen him for years. Teoscar Hernandez comes up with one of the best defensive plays he's probably had in the majors. Man, how many times have we seen him just botch a routine fly ball out there, or the ball bounces around in the corner? I mean, he could not have played that better. He came around to the carom and he barehands the ball, which obviously is less time in the transition from the glove to the hand. And he throws an absolute dart to Edman, who threw another seed to Will Smith, who's in perfect position. I mean, you got to be aggressive on the base paths here. I mean, no one's expecting. How many people pick the Jays to win? When you look at the rosters and you look at this and you look at that. I mean, the odds were like 80%. 80% here. Edmonton Oilers in action tonight. Utah in town. Utah comes in with a record of 8-2 on a 7-game winning streak. The Oilers are 4-4-2. Should mention in the NHL last night, a milestone for Sidney Crosby, 1,700 career points. He's the 9th player to reach 1,700 points. He had a goal and 2 assists in the 6-3 win over St. Louis. Now, there was a bad incident at the game, and after the game, Sidney Crosby really didn't want to discuss, his milestone of reaching 1,700 points. Because a fan, and I'm not sure of the update on him this morning, a fan fell out of the upper deck, I guess, to the lower level after a goal celebration. And apparently in quite serious, life-threatening condition. I haven't checked anything today, so hopefully he's still hanging in there. But after the game, Sid Crosby said, I don't feel comfortable talking about reaching 1,700. Our thoughts are with this fan, and we want to, hopefully that he's okay. And I apologize for not checking on what the status of this fan, but that was obviously last night at, 9 o'clock or something when it started to come out or whatever, and the Jays game was on and things like that. So, NFL, Last night, Kansas City beats Washington 28-7. A very slow start, as we said before the break, for Patrick Mahomes. Had a couple of picks that finished the game with 3 touchdowns through the air. He was, really good after almost in the second half. Call it the second half. 3 passing touchdowns. He had 2 picks, interceptions. Rushed for 30. 28-7 the final. Kelsey was really good again. Rashee Rice was pretty darn good again. Rice had 9 receptions for 93 yards and a touchdown. Kelsey had 6 catches for 99 and a touchdown, 83 on the career for Kelsey. And Duke, more importantly, what did you call it? Off the schneid.
Off the schneid, Kev. We win.
Oh,
you win.
I feel like, that guy that had the sign in the old Cheers, at the very, very beginning. We win.
Yeah. And then, hey, credit to you. And I, my ticket last night read, I had the Commanders to cover, and I took the over in the game, actually, which would have had a much better chance had the first 3 straight possessions not all ended in plus territory that should have had points on the board.
Yeah. What was the over?
I think it was 48.
Why that high, eh?
Maybe it was 44. Let me just double check that. I still have my my Sports Select ticket here on my phone. But yeah, it was like, you think about it for the Commanders, like, yeah, they didn't have Daniels, but they got McLaurin back. They got Samuel back. Like, they had weapons available. It was just like, once again,
Marcus,
like the Commanders defense is just terrible. Yeah, 48 was the line.
What's funny, Duke, it's 7-7 after at the half.
It was looking very live for the let alone the Commanders to cover. They were heavy favor underdogs, obviously, on a spread that big to win outright. And I was a little nervous because after your discussion with Connor yesterday about moving lines, before I even left the building yesterday, the line was down to 10.5.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine me losing by just
and that's
point?
what I mean. I was like, oh, Kevin will have some gripes here, but thankfully it doesn't come down to it. The Chiefs win it running away. Mahomes, just under 300 yards at 3 scores. They have a couple picks too, but yeah, like you said, a bit of a slower start for them, but they kind of showed once again that they're right there with the class of the AFC and the NFL.
Lancer the Rancher texts in, and this is something we discussed in the opening segment, Lancer. What a game, but the straw for Barger is the one move that drives me nuts, and I agree. And we talked about this at length, Lancer. I can see if you're pinch hitting. Maybe there's a lefty up, and you're going to pinch hit for him. But to pinch run for him at that point, that's the one that didn't make sense for me. Barger, again, way more power. You see his arm. Straw is technically a better fielder, but he can get around the base pass a little bit better than Barger. But for what you were trading off at that point, I don't think it was worth it. Mike, hey KK, how many points do you guess Sid finishes his career with? And where does that put him on the all-time list? Well, it's a good question, man. Oh man. Okay, if he's at 1,700, he's got this year and another year left on his contract, correct? That is, what does he finish? And a lot of people think he's going to play past this contract. Is there a chance that he could get to 2,000? I think that might be a little hot. He's 9th right now. He's behind Mario by 22 points. So at the end of this year, he will probably be ahead of Mario and Steve Yzerman, maybe not Marcel Dion, who's at 1,771. He could be, there's a legitimate chance that he is 2nd or 3rd all time if he plays one more year and gets like 50 points as a 40-year-old or whatever he would be. It's a hell of a question, man. Gordie Howe's at 1,850, and that was obviously the benchmark for so many years. The crazy thing is that, Wayne Gretzky still will quite likely have the most assists, more than anyone has had points. He's at 1963 for assists. Jaromir Jagr at 1921. Crazy. Keep those texts rolling in, 833-401-1440. Top of the hour, we got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet, also followed up by Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io. Learn more about how we can help your business automate processes, streamline operations, and save money at Nectar.io. That is Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 3 of the Fall Classic was a marathon, going 18 innings, and both bullpens emptied before Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off home run to win it for the Dodgers 6-5. Shohei Ohtani setting a new World Series record, reaching base 9 times, which included 2 homers and 4 intentional walks. LA leading the best of 7, 2 games to 1. Game 3 tonight from Chavez Ravine. Just a pair of games in the NHL. Sid Crosby getting his 1,700th career point as the Pens double up the Blues 6-3, and Senators top Boston 7-2. Week 8, the NFL wrapping up with the Chiefs beating the Commanders 28-7 on Monday Night Football. Pat Mahomes throwing for 299 yards, 3 scores, and 2 picks. Busy night on the hardwood. Toronto Raptors falling to the Spurs 121-103. Victor Wembanyama continuing his torrid start with a 24-point, 15-board double-double. 10 other games, including Philly beating Orlando 136-124. New Orleans losing to Boston 122-90. And the Thunder remain perfect, now 4-0 on the season after a 101-94 win over Dallas. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector and Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. I'm Brandon Douglas. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
You'll see us digging holes. No, we're not looking for buried treasure. You'll see us digging trenches as well. And no, we're not building a fort. We're GS Construction, and you'll see us in neighborhoods throughout the Edmonton area. So what are we doing? GS Construction provides rehabilitation and upgrade services to Edmonton and surrounding communities. Some of our underground utilities have served us for years and are past their useful lives. We replace them, so they're around for years to come. Find out more at gsconstruction.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Since 1971, the Brick has been committed to saving you more. Right now, hurry in to save up to $1,000 off sofas and sectionals, up to 40% off mattresses, and up to 35% off furniture. Plus, buy any 3 select major appliances and save 15% off. And if you find a lower price before the end of the year, including Black Friday and Boxing Day, we'll refund the difference. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 801 in Edmonton. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. You know what? They've got the Corvettes going right now. It's hard to believe. You're talking about Corvettes in October, but the good thing is that you can store them. And they'll store them and everything. They got it all done. Like Mike Lowe says, if you want to buy a Corvette right now, they got tons of inventory in stock. You're not going to drive it in the wintertime, so they'll store it all winter for you. Mike's a good guy. Just ask him. Check him out at Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. I don't answer texts at 12:46 in the morning, Spec. But yes, I was up till the very end of the game, and I know you were too. The text that I received at 12:46.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why, I'm also all my baseball buddies from the draft, and these are guys from Baseball Canada and guys that are some scouts. One guy's a scout for the Cardinals and things like that. They start getting going on the text line, and it's like, listen, I'm not getting involved here at 12 o'clock and 12:30. So I just figured it was one of those bozos texted me. So anyway, I appreciate it. And, hey, I'm glad you stayed up. I mean, you might not ever watch a game like that for the rest of your life, Spec.
Well, an 18 inning, I'll tell you, first thing with the new rules in Major League Baseball, you won't see one in the regular season.
That's right. Yeah.
Guy starting on second. There's the 18, there used to be 14, 15, 16 inning games the regular season. They got rid of them. Thank goodness. This was different. It was fun, and it was a bit of a badge of honor to stay up to the end. And I wasn't in the Ontario time zone like all the Blue Jays fans back in Toronto. They're up till close to 3 a.m. What a game. It sure sucked. I mean, I think my TV was off and I was walking into the bedroom before that Freddie Freeman ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see a replay till about 3 minutes ago on Twitter.
It's kind of funny you say that, Spec, because they had hit so many balls to the track that just seemed to die. And I wasn't sure if he caught that one either. And I wasn't, when you watch him going around the bases, he's not sure either.
Yeah, no. I mean, for sure. I'm sort of being sarcastic.
I know.
I thought Varshall's body language made me believe for a second that he could catch it. He thought, I'm going to take a run at this thing until the last second, and then he couldn't, and it's out.
Yeah, because he was like that with Will Smith, right? On the Will Smith, they had the same body language. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Varshall's a gamer, man. He's a gamer out there, and he was. Anyway, listen, it'll be a tough one to stomach, but. There will be residual effects on this one, like all the pitchers that got used and all the man, Springer's hurt. I don't know if he's playing tonight. This game will be talked about all night tonight, even though they're playing the game 4. It will still the game 3 will have a big effect on game 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, think about this, Shohei Ohtani, 2 home runs, 2 doubles in his first 4 at bats. And by the way, he's pitching tonight, Spec.
Yeah. Yeah. On a 0 rest, in terms of sleeping at night.
Yeah.
Which is
18 innings.
That's real. When you play ball until, let's say they played till 3 a.m. roughly. They didn't get out of the park till 4 a.m. In the East, that's 1 a.m. out there. When you get to sleep, if you're Shohei Ohtani, 3:30 after a game like that.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
Yeah, whatever. He's probably in bed by 2 o'clock or so.
Yeah, you got to get out.
Game's over at 11:45 there. By the time he's probably staying somewhere right close and whatever.
So. Maybe sleeping at the ballpark at this point. But anyhow, listen, lots of fun. I felt like all I'm seeing is all these hockey guys who are suddenly baseball experts getting on Schneider for not having his best guys in the lineup in the 16th, 17th, 18th, 15th inning. Like, listen, he tried to win the game. He made some moves with his lineup in the earlier innings. When I say early, I'm saying 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to try to win a ball game. And he didn't get the clutch hit then. And now they're saying, oh, you should have your guys still playing. Well, you know what?
Don't work that way.
If the game ends in the 11th, if they don't pinch hit, if they don't pinch run in the 10th, 11th, that same bozo's on the manager for not making a smart move if the guy's out. So whatever, like, it's tough game. It was tough to watch that lineup come through. All it took was a couple of singles. Like, the Blue Jays all year long, it's been the guys that were in the lineup last night. We were all bemoaning the fact that Bichette was out and Barger was out and Kirk was out, but they've been winning all their games this year with all those guys that were in, packing together a double and 2 singles and getting the run. So it didn't happen for them last night, but I kind of suspected that at some point it would have.
Yeah, they played their asses off last night. And I mean, you have to, tip your hat to the opposition here at some point too. And you got to look at a guy, you think about one of the main reasons that the Dodgers won this game when the game got to where it was Will Klein. And there's no denying that. This guy's not even supposed to be on the roster spec. He's only on the roster because Alex Vesia has some problems, like personal problems, some serious stuff, not related to him. But and then Tanner Scott is the other reliever that's injured. So Will Klein's not even supposed to be on the roster. He never threw more pitches than last night ever in his life before.
I think he threw 70 pitches last night.
72 pitches. Okay, I got this stat. I just punched it up. Klein hadn't thrown more than 50 pitches in a game at any level since 2021.
Wow.
Also faced the most ever he faced was 13 hitters. That was in 2021 at high A. Threw to 15 hitters last night, 72 pitches over 4 innings. And that's why Sandy Koufax went after the game to the locker room and congratulated him first, because he
did. What a memory for that kid. He's the winning pitcher, the pitcher of record in a game that's tied for the longest in World Series history. Yeah. And then Sandy Koufax shakes your hands after. Imagine that guy. He must be just waking up this morning going, wait a second, did this really happen?
Yeah. You think about, even Clayton Kershaw gets that massive out in the 12th, I think it was.
Yeah.
And everyone's going, okay, now they're going to come back and win that night. Koufax and Kershaw are tight as it is.
Yeah.
They're going to have their little get together, and it ended up to be that way, but with Will Klein.
Well, even you know what, Brendan Little, we all know the situation on Brendan Little. The Schneider doesn't want to use him, but he has to use him. And he waits till the end till he's got nothing left. Lauer gave him 2 innings more than he should have. You got to use Little. So he uses Little. You know what Little did? Little's a guy that's supposed to give you an inning or 2 batters. That's what he does. He went out and gave you an inning and got you through the 17th, right? Then he had to come back out for the 18th. Well, it didn't go great for him. But my point is, if I'm Brendan Little, my job description all year long is get 2 outs, get 3 outs, like 1 inning tops. And he did that. He fulfilled his mandate. Yeah, he gave up a homer to Freddie Freeman. Joined the team. Lots of guys are giving up homers to Freddie Freeman.
You talk about pitching lots, and we talk about hitting, but it was fun to watch the defense last night, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Guys, everyone was making plays. I love that comebacker that Klein caught right up by his ear. Listen, you know what? This is the equivalent of the double, triple overtime game in hockey, that it does hurt to lose and it does leave a dent. No one's going to tell you the Jays just wake up and slough this off, but a good team, and a team that if you got the character to be a World Series champion, you get over this, and you get over it fairly quickly, and you go back out tonight and you play ball. And whoever's starting tonight, it is Bieber. I don't know who he's starting against. Who's starting for the
Ohtani?
Oh, that's right, Ohtani, of course. There's a huge onus on those 2 guys. Those are the 2 guys that are really that are probably the most important players for the team, because there is no big bullpen tonight behind them. Bieber's got to give you 6 tonight.
Yeah.
Like, don't be giving me 2 innings tonight, 3 innings. That will not do in this situation.
Well, the only guy that's not available tonight would be Lauer. And again, Lauer is the exact same as what Will Klein was last night for the Jays.
Oh, unbelievable pitching performance. Listen, just a game we'll never forget watching. You just wish it had a better ending.
Exactly. Mark Spector with us from Rogers Sportsnet. Oilers in Utah tonight. Is right now the Utah Mammoth are the Mammoth the feel good, the best story, the most surprising story after 10 games so far in the NHL?
I'd say so. I mean, 7-game winning streak coming in here. We saw, like, this isn't me saying I'm not surprised. Of course, you're surprised when an organization like that has a great start like this. Good for them. But you watched Arizona build here with a bunch of these young, fast Clayton Kellers, and I always liked Michelli. Now he's a Leaf, but whatever. They've got young guys. They got some good players. And it's a matter of time. That rebuild's finally getting some traction, man. Like, how bad was Arizona for how long? It's, as I said to Gregor yesterday, it's about time that team got good. And Tourigny is a wicked coach. I think he's a smart coach and a very good guy. I always liked him. And I think Bill Armstrong's a good GM. He's figuring it out in there. So, yes, they're good. But I would say to you, Kev, that program's been building a long time. It's about time they're good.
When you look at that young talent, I mean, they've got so many guys that are 21, 22, 23 years old, and they don't have a lot of older guys really on the roster. I mean, Keller's 27, Schmaltz is 29, but the guys that are driving the bus, Cooley, Gunther, the Paterka, the guys you mentioned, that's 21, 22, 23. Their blue line's relatively young in the sense that they do have a couple of guys that are longer in the tooth for maybe some leadership, but
Ian Cole,
they're set up here, and goal too.
Ian Cole, Nate Schmidt, Oli Mata, they're all on there.
Yeah.
And I think we've all listened. People in Edmonton have watched this Vejmelka play. He was one of the rare bright spots on Arizona again, and I liked him. He's a guy that you looked at and thought, this guy might be your goalie here. And he's turning into that. So good for them, man. They got a team. It's a little bit reminiscent of Quebec. They had an okay team for a long time, and then they go to Colorado and win the Cup the first year. Arizona never had a team this good, that's for sure.
What do you think we're going to see from the Oilers tonight, Spec? You can say that was an extended 8-game road trip, so they always say the first game really back. But, I mean, they were slow out of the gate against Montreal. There's no denying that. You think they're slow out of the gates tonight?
I think, I'm not sure what'll happen tonight, but this is what I am fairly sure of is I think you can kind of turn the page on the first. I mean, obviously the first 10 games are over. You played your first 10 games. The bright side is you got more points after 10 games than you had the last 2 years. And we know how the last 2 years ended. So it's not a catastrophe, right? They're not a horrible team. The season isn't in jeopardy. They've just been through.
Did we lose Spec? Maybe are we making out there, fellas? I think we just lost Mark Spector, unfortunately. Talking about Oilers, and I mean, what kind of lineup will we see from the Oilers tonight? Will we see, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl split when it comes to down the middle? Probably a good chance of that. But again, you never know how the lineup comes out when Chris Knobloch is putting that lineup down pen to paper. So I would imagine we're going to see Stu Skinner in goal. When you look at the Oilers schedule this week, they've got the Rangers on Thursday, then Chicago here on Saturday. Spec, can you hear us now? Are we back with you?
I got you now. Yeah. We went out there for some reason.
Maybe just finish your thought on that.
I just feel like the Oilers will be able to turn a bit of a page. I think the next segment, the next 10-game segment is here. I think they're 5 of their next 7 at home. They toughed it out through a really wicked 10-game stretch here. I think you'll see a little bit, a team that could settle down a little bit. How about that, Kev? Maybe a team that settles down. It starts with Skinner. Skinner's got to give him a real good game tonight and a chance to keep this sort of high-flying Utahs in check here.
He could play every game this week.
If he gets going, I don't see why he wouldn't. You know, if
Yeah,
he's,
I mean,
I haven't minded his game so far. Like,
he shut out the Rangers. So why wouldn't you give him that game again on Thursday? So, he's starting tonight. We know that. He shut out the Rangers in New York, and then you got Chicago here, and then you got a back-to-back early next week, Spec. So you can split them up there.
oh, for sure. And you know what? Even Pickard, like, the goaltending has been just fine in Edmonton, right? The goaltending has been just fine. Everyone's all over the goalies. I get it. Last I checked in that Vancouver game, Demko led in 3-2, and he led in 3 also. And is anyone complaining about how Demko played? Roslovic blew one past him coming off the wing. If that goal goes in on Pickard or Skinner, oh my God, we're talking about it for 20 minutes. Goalies let goals in sometimes, people. And I think the Oilers' goaltending has been excellent this year. It's been about their 9th problem. So Skinner needs to give him a start tonight. This is a bit, to me, Kev, it's a chance to get a bit of a foothold here. Get past the wonky first 10 games, win a couple games at home, find your game here. Oilers need to find their game, and it's about time they did.
Mm-hmm. And, it kind of happened last year, after 10 games or so, right? So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Spec, we'll see you down at the rink tonight.
Sounds good, Kev.
That's Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC, powered by Northgate. This truck's for you. When we come back, Frank Saravalli from the Daily Faceoff. That's coming up. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost.
1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sani dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Karius and Jason Greger, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
to Sports 1440.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 EEE. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Need the perfect ride? The Golf Cart people have it. They offer a wide selection of new and used models from top brands like Club Car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go. Whether it's a lifted cart for adventure or a sleek ride for the course, they'll find your match. Customize with accessories or choose a ready-to-go option. Trusted by Albertans since 1997 for quality. Visit golfcartpeople.com to find your cart and hit the road or fairway your way.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. 100% legal. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:21 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. And time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Getting snakes deep and giving 110%. Day in and day out for all your plumbing needs. Go to mrrooter.ca as we welcome in Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. Good morning, Frank.
How you doing, Kevin?
Well, I mean, everyone's a little tired here today. We watched the
No
ball
kidding.
game. I mean, there were shots of even them last night. I'm sure you were long in bed, Frank, but they had the watch party at Rogers in Toronto. And I know that they probably had the camera, Frank, on just certain little areas and pockets, but there were still a lot of people in there at like 2 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I saw the pan of the stadium at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I have to raise my hand and admit that I went to bed in the 15th.
Oh, that's pretty good, Frank.
Yeah, I lasted until 1:30, and I really wanted to stay up longer. I was kind of actually invested in the game, but I had a workout at 6, so I
Yeah.
was like, if I stay up any later, I'm just gonna be hot garbage. Which, I mean, me at the gym, I am anyway, I guess.
But I'm impressed that you made it that far, just because, as you said, once the Phillies are out, you sort of kind of look at something
Yeah.
else. Something, it drew something to you.
Well, just the intensity of the game, the drama. I mean, there were so many moments that the game could have swung in either direction. And to think that, through all the different lineup changes, both teams tearing through their bullpen, that, you figured, push would have to give way to shove at some point. And the fact that it went until after 3 a.m. Eastern is wild.
It really is. And we were just talking about Will Klein. The guy's not even supposed to be on the roster. And that's probably right when you went to bed when he came into the game.
Yeah, I didn't remember seeing him at all. So
Yeah, he came in through the last 4 innings. He's only on the roster because of one injury, and another guy, Alex Vesia, has had some personal problems with his family.
I mean, how many bases loaded jams did these guys get out of? Like, you're thinking, hey, lead off double. Okay, the game's going to end here. Or bases loaded, 1 out. The game's surely going to end here. And like, it was like, you're just kind of like stuck to, hey, I want to know the resolution of this. And in fact, I was kind of, when I woke up this morning, I was like, that's the first thing I did. It was like, I saw my tweet notifications, who won. And I was trying to tell based on the tone of those, what exactly happened.
Well, I mean, 37 runners, both teams, runners left in scoring position. That tells you it right there.
Yeah. I went to bed after Shohei Ohtani got on base for the 7th time in the game. First player in World Series history to do that.
Well, the first time ever in the playoffs. It's happened before in the regular season that a player reached base 9 times in a game, but it hasn't happened, Frank, since 1942. Stan Hack of the Cubs.
Right in the middle of World War II.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's just crazy. Let's talk a little hockey here, Frank. Maybe start with Sidney Crosby. We had a question come in just a little bit earlier. So Sidney Crosby gets point number 1,700 and 1,701 last night. He is 9th overall. Where do you think he finishes all time when it comes to scoring? And I mean, on the list, Gretzky's untouchable, but Yager, Messier, where do you think he fits in here, Frank?
I think he finishes 2nd. And I think the big question is, will Sidney Crosby be the first ever player outside of or not named Wayne Gretzky to hit 2,000 points?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Crosby falls just short. I mean, so he turned 38 in August, and he's got well north of a point per game this season. His last 3 seasons were 91, 94, and 93, and he's had a remarkable run of health. He's only missed 2 games in the last 3 seasons. And so you start to smash those numbers together and you go, okay, that means he needs 299 more points to get there. Can he do that over a 3-season span? That's if he continues at a 94-point pace. It's the math becomes fuzzy. So he'd need to stretch into a 4th season, either that or have one sort of outlier 110-point year, which I think anything's possible maybe with this Penguins start that kind of has come out of the clear blue sky. That maybe, but I'm going to say I'm going to give it a 15 to 20% shot that he gets to 2,000. When it's all said and done, though, now here's my, I guess, somewhat hot take that brings it back to Edmonton, is that Connor McDavid will be second all time.
Second all time. Well,
He's going to be I think he's going to be the first player that ever gets to 2,000, not
2,000. So, I mean, Sidney Crosby's got a year in this after this one, but how many more years do you think he really plays, Frank? What's
that's the other part of it. Would he stretch into a 4th season to play? I don't think so. As much as he loves the game, the reason why he signed the length of term that he did, at least my understanding, is that he himself is not entirely convinced how long he wants to play. And so that obviously will play into it as well. But I did do some number crunching this morning, and I was talking to one of my good buddies, Paul Paduti. You can follow him on X. It's at Adjusted Hockey. I think he does such a tremendous job, and he has Sidney Crosby. Like, if you put everyone on the same level ice surface, meaning you make all the scoring eras equal, 80s is equal to 60s is equal to the dead puck era, etc. The math is easy to do. He's done it all. And he says that Crosby is 3rd all time in points per game.
Yeah.
4th all time in adjusted points. And I asked the question, where does McDavid fit in with that? McDavid is playing right now at a 10-point per season pace better than Crosby, adjusted for era. And the only difficulty with that is obviously he's got to keep that pace going over Crosby, who has aged marvelously.
Yeah, and even like Crosby last night, I'm sure he kind of watched and heard that he didn't want to really talk about things because of that fan falling out of that upper level.
Yeah, really scary situation, and I'm sure we see this more than we need to in some of these arenas that are built now, but just those crazy long escalators that go from one level to the other. Really unfortunate scene that a fan fell from the 2nd to the 1st, and actually I think hit on the suite level before bouncing off.
Yeah.
So that fan taken to the Pittsburgh hospital with life-threatening injuries, and obviously we're keeping him or her in our prayers.
Frank Saravalli with us from Victory Plus TV. Wanted to kind of touch on Mitch Love, Frank. After that decision was rendered from the NHL, Love comes out and says, whoa, denying all allegations. Where do you think this goes, Frank?
Not anywhere good.
Yeah.
I've done enough reporting on this subject to know that the victim, well, I guess we need to say for legal purposes, alleged victim, has a lot of documentation. There were photos that were shared to show the alleged abuse and assault that occurred over multiple instances over a previous period of time. The NHL's investigation was wide-ranging. It included many interviews, took many months to complete. And after that, they felt that they had reasonable enough cause to suspend him for the entirety of this season. And with that, as you know, the Washington Capitals then moved to fire Mitch Love immediately for cause after that decision was rendered by the NHL. And as you know, Mitch Love was really far down the track on 2 different head coaching vacancies in both Seattle and Pittsburgh. That getting wind of this, the alleged victim also contacted those organizations during the coaching search, and they decided to go in a different direction, I believe, as a result. And so I just want to commend the alleged victim for her courage to step up and continue with the sharing of details that has now gotten Mitch Love away from the bench. Because look, we're long past the point in time in society where anyone in a relationship should be putting their hands on another.
How close was Mitch Love to maybe getting a head coaching job in the NHL?
I think mostly a done deal in two different cities.
And how did that? Sorry, go ahead.
No, just very close. He was
close.
at the finish line.
And I mean, this came out after these interviews. Am I correct on that?
Publicly, it did, but this investigation, I think, had been going on for months. And so I think once those teams, again, got word of it, they just said, look, we're better off not getting involved with this candidate.
Yeah. Frank Saravalli with us on Sports 1440. Hey, Utah Mammoth here in town tonight, Frank. Is this the best feel-good, surprising story so far in the NHL this year?
Not for me.
Okay, which one is?
Why? Because I
know you're bullish. I know you love
I've
Utah.
been touting Utah Mammoth for months. I was telling you before the season started that they are a firm playoff team. I truly believe that they are as well positioned as any Western Conference team to be a sustained winner. And I just think they're legit. I think that young line that they have, the kid line or whatever they call it now, is the best young line in hockey. It's can give a run for the money for the best overall line in hockey. And I just think they're in great shape. So look, are they gonna play every 10 game stretch like they have this one? No. Are they gonna reel off 7 wins in a row all the time? No. But are they a force to contend with and to take note of in the West? The answer is yes.
What is it about how it's funny? Like, I mean, I still remember your thing when you talked about ownership in Phoenix, Frank, in Arizona, about you can't even have a smoothie or a protein shake after a game, to where they are now. I mean, with the facility and everything. Like, I mean, it's just like these players must go like, how the hell did we even survive in Phoenix?
Yeah, they went from the outhouse to the penthouse. I mean, that's really what happened. And look, I think a lot of credit is owed to Ryan and Ashley Smith. I think a lot of credit is owed to the NHL and Commissioner Gary Bettman and Bill Daly for getting this right finally. You can want to have all your teams in perfect situations, but once someone owns a house in your neighborhood, it's really hard to kind of evict someone. And that's essentially what they were running into. Not only that, but you need to step up, have someone else step up and have a buyer that's ready to make the commitment and effort that the Smiths have. And look, I guess maybe the question for you, and I've been thinking a lot about this one internally, I stopped thinking about Utah as the Coyotes once they played their first game. But I don't know that everyone around the league from a hockey team perspective, when did they finally shed the label of, oh, this is the same old moribund Coyotes franchise on the ice? I think it's right here and now that people are starting and teams are starting to look at this team differently.
I would say this year, the start of this year, Frank.
When they finally got a logo?
Yeah, they got a logo. They get more of an identity. You get, they show all the videos of, the facility, the changes to the rink, the renovations. The logo definitely helps. But I just think it's, it takes a little bit of time for that transition. But I say start of this year for sure.
Yeah, and look, all the same or many of the same facets of the organization are still in place. General manager, head coach, captain. So many pieces from those Coyotes days are still part of it. And I think that's what probably adds a little extra juice to this turnaround, is that the guys that are part of this, most of them have been in it from the ground floor and have seen some really bad times. To now get to experience the other end of this. They're really fortunate, because even from a GM and head coach perspective, it's typically not what happens. Usually the team is handed off to either someone new to run it when the ownership changes, or I don't know, you have a first year like last year and they say, hey, we're going to change things up.
Mm-hmm. Am I missing anything, Frank, as we kind of wrap things up here that you wanted top of mind? I hate 16 games tonight. All the teams are
Yeah,
playing.
all 32 in action, the frozen frenzy. I mean, it's only right, Kevin, that you got to put in some kind of grand salami 16 team parlay today, isn't it?
60.
I mean,
Well, the Duke
gotta
would do
get on
that.
Sports Select and make something happen.
The Duke would do that, not me. I finally won an NFL game, Frank, for the first time in how long, Duke? 6 months? 6 weeks? 8. So yeah, roughly a month. How's that sound?
Wow, you were on a heater, huh?
Oh, just stink. So
well, I think it's only right. Everyone needs to. I did put together a little. I don't bet, but I always kind of keep track of things.
Mhm.
So in case you're curious and anyone wants to ride along with me, I've got
A
Red
16.
Wings, Ducks, Mammoth, Jets on the money line tonight with the over 6 in Vegas and Carolina.
Wow, Frank, you're big time. Well, I'll get Duke's perception and get his thoughts on what you have thrown out there. Maybe a guy should do all 16 games, see what
I'm
happens.
telling you, they call it the grand salami. You need it. Get it?
Well,
Get it.
I mean, it's the NFL every weekend, so
Yeah.
same thing. Good stuff, Frank. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
See you, Kevin.
That's Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. And our headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter, the #1 overall pick in your fantasy plumbing pool. That's mrrooter.ca. Well, Duke, is that something that you might be interested in? All 16 games?
I think that's something I'd be very interested in, Kevin.
So
now here's what I will say. We obviously have game 4 of the World Series tonight. And unless we see some sort of duplication from last night, once the Oilers game is over,
okay,
because that's a 7:30, 7:45 puck drop. We're still talking probably 11 o'clock here.
Mhm.
I will not be staying up for the end of the Pacific Division games tonight.
Why not?
Dude,
you got tomorrow. You got all day tomorrow before you leave on Thursday.
Think of how little I'm going to sleep over the next week.
Come on.
Man. What's the late? How many late games are there tonight? Let's see. Oh my, 8 o'clock PT. 9 o'clock our time. LA, San Jose.
Yeah.
And then Rangers and Canucks. 8
Canadians
o'clock our time.
crack at 8:30.
Yeah, I don't think that trio of games I will be up for. Hey, listen, my Ducks, they're down in South Florida.
Well,
early game.
I hope they win.
I'm taking them.
Good.
They were on Frank's list. I'm
5-5. Florida is right now.
Yeah. Ducks 4-3-1, kind of right there with the Oilers in terms of like kind of plying their trade in the middle of the division right now. I'm going to take a little look here, and I'll get the Sports Select ticket filled out. So and I'll pop by and print it off.
Okay, on Sports Select, I know, Duke, that they have, because I've been curious to try this on pools. I think it's called pools on Sports Select.
Yeah, it's another play option they have.
So you pick every NFL game. And I always notice at the very top of every week, if you go to sportsselect.com, you will see the very top, and it'll go 10 winning tickets shared $180,000 for correctly picking every winner. No spread. So no spread.
Yeah, no.
Just picking the winners.
No pro lines or anything. It's just winners.
I'll tell you what. I mean, there's been a few, obviously the Cincinnati Jets game would have kiboshed a few people. Maybe it helped a few. But with the spreads that we've been seeing, like we're seeing 6s and 7s, and for the most part, those teams are covering those games and they're winning. So the only one that comes to mind last week, just off the top of my head, is the Cincinnati Jets game. That if you would have thought, okay, since he's going to win, they might not cover the 6.
Right. But to win
just win straight up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at the pools option. I'm looking at it right now.
And here's the thing with NHL. I mean, it's way different because of the overtime and shootout. It's way different than NFL, right?
Yeah, and we've talked about this before, like Sports Select and the different ways you can play in the pools, and they got futures and stuff as well. But in terms of like the traditional ticket, like I do think that the nature of it lends itself to hockey so well that, betting the tie or something, or, just the outright winner.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. So when on a night like this, I'm chomping at the bit to head to my Lotto Spot retailer and get my QR code scanned.
That avoid do.
Yeah, maybe I'll have a little extra jingle in my jeans heading on.
Could you imagine if you have a big win tonight?
Just take it. I'll ask them at my lotto spot when I go to cash it in and be like, hey, can you?
No, you'll have to go to St. Albert.
Can you pay this out in American dollars?
No, you'll be going to St. Albert.
Well, how much do you think I'm betting here, Kev?
Well, whatever your payout's going to be.
I don't make Kevin Karius type money
stop
here.
it. But I mean,
my units are much smaller.
When you're throwing together 5, 6, 7 games.
Oh, 7. Try 16.
Well, there you go.
Put it all together.
On a $2 bet, you're going to be just fine.
I think I'll be flush.
Yeah, you'll be just fine. When we come back, we'll get to more of your text, 833-401-1440. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. Looking forward to a conversation with Terry Poole, Canadian Baseball Hall of Famer, former Major League Baseball player. We'll also have Matt Coma from NHL.com and Alan Seslowski from RotoWire in the 10 o'clock hour. All straight ahead, the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
You've probably heard the term supply and demand. Something is needed and someone supplies it. We're GS Construction, and we're in the supply and demand business with you. Edmonton and the surrounding area continue to grow. Infrastructure has to be continually replaced and upgraded to keep up with demand. You see it with new buildings and new roads, but what about below ground, where all sorts of pipes bring you water and take wastewater away? That's where we come in. For more on what we do, go to gsconstruction.ca.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Get ready, Edmonton. Glow Christmas Festival returns to light up the Edmonton Expo Center from December 4th to 31st with dazzling activities for the entire family. Wander the glowing trails, meet Santa in his sleigh, and shop from over 30 local artisans and vendors with handcrafted gifts and holiday treasures, perfect for everyone on your list. Get your tickets and learn more about what's on this season by visiting the calendar of events at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal? Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Albertans celebrate a bounty of beautiful places to visit, boundless adventures to take, all in driving distance. And Sherwood Honda has the fuel-efficient vehicle that helps you go even further and appreciate more. Hybrid CRVs and Civics mean more thanks in your tanks, more great trips to be grateful for. And of course, Sherwood Honda is thankful for the chance to help you get there. It's a beautiful time of year, and it sure would be nice to hit the road with Sherwood Honda.
Canada, Crave is now the exclusive streaming home of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune.
Let me hear you if you want to win.
Two of the most iconic game shows in television history.
You never know what's going to happen around here.
Stream new seasons next day on Crave.
I'm excited already.
Plus, dive into a massive library of classic episodes, which include Canadian legend Alex Trebek.
Answer. Daily Double.
Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:45 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select, and it's so easy to play. I mean, you just got to visit sportselect.com. You visit there and you generate a QR code. There's how to play videos. It's a step-by-step instruction. Sportselect.com, 100% legal, must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Friday's Halloween. I think we had a text. Was it from MTR that came in earlier this week that asked, because now that we're on, YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And Duke, you're gone, so you're not partaking in any of this. But I think MTR asked, is anyone going to dress up? Like, are we going to have I don't know, whatever? You could some sort of a costume.
Maybe somebody was dressing up for JR's lunch, going away lunch.
Well, that's the country thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not. No, I had a costume idea. I'm not going to say what it is.
You're just going to go as Gregor again?
No, the guys don't even know that. I went as Gregor a long time ago. Have you ever seen the picture? Oh man, we posted it. Was it last year when we posted
last year
and the year before?
Probably both. Yeah, great. It's just it's an annual one that you can throw out there each year. Be like, oh hey, look, throwback to when Kevin Karius dressed up as Gregor.
So I had the skull cap on, Joshy boy. And I had, I got the glasses, and I brought back then it was Team 1260, I think, when I did it. So I had a mic flash. I walked around. There, you know what? There wasn't one woman that talked to me in the bar. Nothing. It was like crickets.
You're so lucky that you're friends with Gregor.
But Gregor, when you tell the story, he goes, "Yeah, Dick never had so many women come up to him in the bar. They were just all over him."
All right, then.
But so I had, what else did I have? Like, I don't know. He used to wear these wild hoop earrings years ago.
I've seen pictures from him when he got into the industry, and I was like, whoa, what is this?
So I don't know. I got the wild, and we were at, there was an old bar called Overtime, and then I think we went to see Dr. Wang too, but it's so long ago, but there were so many people that were just dying laughing. It was a good costume. And I got, back then he used to wear these crazy shirts too. So I found an old shirt from the Salvation Army. It might have been Value Village. I can't remember.
Just a nice thrift find.
No, yeah, it was a bad shirt.
To impersonate your good friend, Jason Gregor. Identity theft is not a joke, Kevin. Millions of families suffer every year.
Little did I know 20 some years ago that, we'd be working here together.
Small world.
But the costume idea I have for this Friday, I think you guys would really like it.
I might have to
will you have your phone down there?
I can, if you have it on, I'll tune into the show when I get up to head down for my breakfast or whatever. I'll just pull it up on YouTube. I'll watch the show for a little bit. But I'll have my phone too. And listen, that's the benefit of this really expensive phone plan I have. North America wide, call, text, all of it.
So the cool thing about this is that, like, Eddie's going to be here. So if I put this costume on, like right at 6:59, I'll walk into here and you guys will go, wow. Well, not you, but
I hope it's not you dressing up as Eddie.
See, that would be something. Well, actually, you know what? I did dress up years and years ago. Did you know that there's a team in the West Coast League now that were, with the Riverhawks, and they weren't in there last year. There must be an expansion team. I saw this on the website because the schedule was announced, and they are. Do you remember who the former mayor? Because Duke, I know your Capitals, your politics, your history.
No, I don't.
No,
I know about one of those things, but sure.
Okay.
Mayor of where?
Washington. The former mayor of Washington.
Like DC?
Yes. And we would be talking in the late 80s. No. Late 80s, early 90s. Anyway, there must be a city out somewhere in the West Coast.
In the state of Washington, maybe.
I would assume, and called Marion. And their team is called the Marion Berries.
And that was his name?
Marion Barry used to be the mayor of Washington. He got busted for cocaine.
Well, so just keeping with the times was all. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that's a true story. Anyway, this team, maybe I'm out to lunch, but in the West
Was this
Coast,
an April Fool's Day prank? Like when I thought the Oil
Oh,
Kings all of
could
a
you
sudden were
imagine?
bringing back 22-year-old players.
the Marion Berries next year. You got it right, Josh? So I mean, they weren't in the league last year, were they?
I don't think so. It looks like they have two. They have the Marion Berries, and then there's a team in here called the Ridgefield Raptors, who I don't remember seeing on the schedule last year either. To be fair, I was not looking very much at the south side of the league. I was more into the Canadian side.
I got the Marion Berries as one of the teams next year. Yeah,
I'm seeing this as well. Although they had a record last year, so they obviously played.
Oh, so
but sometimes some teams didn't come out here. Is that correct?
What do you mean?
Well, in that one.
Oh yeah, no, they don't.
Yeah.
They almost never, if ever, play the South Division teams
until the final.
Yeah, obviously.
The Marion Berries were 16-11 last year, so I guess we just never.
Well, how about this, Kev? I don't know if you knew this, but a Marion berry is an actual thing.
Right.
Apparently, it's
like a
cultivar
Saskatoon
of
berry.
Blackberry.
It's like a Saskatoon berry, sort of. No,
it looks more like a blackberry.
Okay, well, so it's like a blackberry, sort of like more like a raspberry,
like a brambleberry.
Okay, bumbleberry. Anyway, I just thought the Marion berries were maybe they were. It
kind of playing on words there a little bit.
Yes, well, I mean, Saskatoon in the other league has Saskatoon berries.
Yep. Yeah, that's a buddy of mine was working for them in their socials and PR stuff, and I got one of those hats. That I got one for Connor too. They're really nice. I've never worn it. It's still pristine in my closet because as you know, Kev, I'm a one hat guy till it's dead in the water. I might take, because it's like purple, it's kind of fun, whatever. I might take it to Mexico.
I mean, Jamie Campbell was there at a game.
Oh, he's had it on the broadcast and stuff.
But did you see him? He tried someone dared him to shotgun one of those baseball bat beers.
Oh no, I did not.
He never got it all down, but good for him.
Oh, and here you go. And the Marion berry was first, like it was developed at Oregon State and in Corvallis. So that would make sense if the town is somewhere around there.
HVAC Nick says, speaking of baseball, did they ever finish the Spruce Grove Stadium? No, I think this has just been.
That's a can of worms.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going on here for years with that area, facility, development, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, and those, when you look at the drawing, the rendering of the drawings, looked like it was amazing. I mean, they had
that's kind of, I think,
condos.
part of the disappointment is the expectation was so exceptional. And now here we are years later, and it's just another delay, and you hear some unfortunate stories about maybe how they've been handling the behind the scenes stuff, because people bought season tickets this past summer with expectation they were going to be in the new stadium, and they're not. It's not great. It's not pretty, unfortunately, for the team, because I mean, we've seen the level of success the Riverhawks have obviously had, still playing downtown, and I think that this team, the Cactus Rats, even though I hate the name, it's another great local program that I think a lot of people wanted to get behind, but it's just getting tougher and tougher here.
When you think about it, I mean, they had every opportunity at Remax Field.
Yeah.
And you think about what happens when you get ownership and staff. So like we're talking Randy Gregg, we're talking Steve, we're talking all like Steve Hogle, and to what they've done where they are leading the West Coast League in attendance, like 100 and whatever it is, 140 grand. I mean, they never had crowds like that for the prospects back in the day. When we come back, we got Terry Poole. We're going to talk a little bit of Blue Jays baseball. Hopefully he watched a little bit of the game. I mean, who knows? I mean, the guy had to stay up pretty late. He would be in the central time zone. So it wouldn't be as bad as the East, but it's still pretty late. So we'll see how much he caught of that game. Terry played in the majors, mostly with Houston, was an all-star, phenomenal baseball player. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by AWSL Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here is Sam, the record man.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game 3 of the Fall Classic was a marathon, going 18 innings, and both bullpens emptied before Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off homer to win it for the Dodgers 6-5. Shohei Ohtani set a new World Series record, reaching base 9 times, which included 2 homers and 4 intentional walks. LA leads the best of 7 game 2-1. Game 4 going tonight from Chavez Ravine. Just a pair of games in the NHL. Sidney Crosby gets his 1700th career points as the Pens double up on the Blues 6-3, and the Senators top Boston 7-2. NFL Week 8 wrapped up with the Chiefs beating the Commanders 28-7. Patrick Mahomes threw for 299 yards, 3 scores, and 2 picks. Busy night on the hardwood. The Toronto Raptors fell to the Spurs 121-103. Victor Wembanyama continues his torrid start with 24 points, 15 board, double-double. 10 other games, including Philly beating Orlando 136-124. New Orleans loses to Boston 122-90. The Thunder remain perfect, now 4-0 after a 101-94 win over Dallas. And this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilmus.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Greger Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for Kids Sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregerpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
He's a legend in the booth and a master on the mic. Low Tide brings the banter weekdays from noon to 2. Sports 1440 is where Edmonton talks sports. Get in the game. Text 833-401-1440.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Strudlin. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price started at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
Alan Olson Auctions presents the annual Rimby Fall Consignment Sale. Online bidding is open now, closing tomorrow at alanolsonauction.com. This 5-ring sale features thousands of lots. Bid on machinery such as tractors, haying and harvest equipment, skid steers, and more. A variety of cattle handling equipment and buildings. A huge assortment of vehicles and RVs. And 2 miscellaneous rings with a variety of great finds. Don't miss the biggest sale of the season. Visit alanolsonauction.com.
Canada, Crave is now the exclusive streaming home of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune.
Let me hear you if you want to win.
2 of the most iconic game shows in television history.
You never know what's going to happen around here.
Stream new seasons next day on Crave.
I'm excited already.
Plus, dive into a massive library of classic episodes, which include Canadian legend Alex Trebek.
Answer. Daily Double.
Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. Just after 9 o'clock in Edmonton, obviously the news of the day into the morning, the wee hours of the morning would have been the Toronto Blue Jays game against the LA Dodgers. Went 18 innings. Freddie Freeman hit a home run off of Brandon Little in the 18th. Will Klein was sensational in relief, pitched 4 innings, threw 72 pitches, got the win. And now we are set for game number 4 tonight at Chavez Ravine. Excited to welcome in our next guest to the big program, Canadian Baseball Hall of Famer, former Major League Baseball player, mostly with the Houston Astros and the pride of Melville, Saskatchewan, Terry Poole. Morning, Terry. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it. It's been a year or so since we talked to you.
Yeah, and good morning to everybody.
Can you hear us, Terry?
I can. Can you not hear me?
We got you now. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we spoke.
Yeah, we usually touch base summers around these playoffs. It's amazing how, I even hear from you probably remember the name, old Linus Westberg from from Yorkton.
Yeah.
That he lives in Red Deer right now. And, we usually have, but anyways, what a game last night. Wow.
Oh, I don't even know where to start with you, but I was texting you earlier in the day, Terry, and you're saying you're going out for your 46th wedding anniversary dinner with your wife. How much did you catch at the game? I mean, it was 6.5 hours, the game, so you must have saw some of it.
Oh, yeah, I did. I lasted to about, I think, the 13th inning, and that was the end of that one. But actually, my son had a friend that flies private jets, and this pilot was up in Saskatchewan, actually in Saskatoon yesterday, and so as part of a surprise for my wife, he went to Walmart in Saskatoon, bought a box of Old Dutch potato chips, which we absolutely love, and he flew into Houston yesterday. We met him Curtis met him at the airport. And so when Jackie and I got back from our dinner date restaurant, Curtis walks into the house with his box of Old Dutch potato chips.
Oh,
what a classic.
That's a treat for you down there.
Oh, yeah. Those Old Dutch potato chips, the first things we stop immediately when we cross the border and pick up the. But yeah, getting back to the game though.
Yeah.
But you can only dodge those big hitters so long. That's all. Eventually one of them's going to get you. And Freeman hit a couple balls pretty well last night. The ball didn't seem to be carrying, and the ball doesn't carry at Dodger Stadium at nighttime. I mean, he must have mangled that last one. That was straight center. Off a left-handed pitcher. He's such a good hitter. And, I'll say this. I'm not a big Dodger fan. but if there's one guy on the team I can see, or being happy for, it's Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
And so I know it's been a tough night on our Canadian friends up there. I've got a few of them in the Toronto area that we've been texting and whatnot, talking about. And so it's only 3 games in, But that was a big game, a big momentum play.
Yeah, for sure. Terry Poole with us on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. Played with the Houston Astros from 77 till 90. So when you were playing in Dodger Stadium, Terry, you noticed that immediately all the time that the ball didn't carry there as much at night compared to during the day?
Yeah, there's quite a difference. Day games, the balls fly a little bit better, but during at nighttime, it gets a little cooler over there. And so, yeah, it's a noticeable difference. Balls hang up a little bit, quite a bit, and especially out in center field. It's a bigger poke than you think.
Yeah.
But some of these guys have been doing just crazy stuff. When finally hit that ball over the right center roof, people don't realize how far that thing is. You know, it's like it's not just that's not right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of star power.
Yeah.
You know, it's what we even had. You know, we had to go there in 1980, win one game of the last of the season where they had 3 to play against the Dodgers, and we lost all 3. Had to play the extra game there, but you know, and they walked it off 2 of the 3 games with home runs like that. And it was like, you know, it's just Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Terry Poole with us on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. So after you played, and we'll get to that in a bit, Terry, but you know, you coached with the national senior team and also the University of Houston, Victoria. What would you say to a team like the Jays? If you were John Schneider, what would you say last night, today, after losing such a tough one in 18 innings?
Yeah, that's oh wow. You know, that you have to talk to the team though. That's one thing you have to do. You have to keep on telling, you know, it's like the Blue Jays can go back and look at games that they've won, even, you know, during the season, but all through make, you know, recalls about what great bounce backs of their team and what a great story it would be now the Toronto Blue Jays winning tonight and coming back and winning the series. I mean, this is by no way done yet. Obviously, a big hit to the Blue Jays was George Springer, though. You know that you know what he's sustained. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back in this series. You know, that's an injury that doesn't heal in 2 days. So they're going to have to get some people. And they have been performing. You know, your team can hit.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays are probably one of the best teams in the league in hitting. So, you know, they just got to, you know, come back, bounce back. You know, if they bounce back today and win, you know, I think the momentum switched clearly to the Blue Jays to win.
Yeah, fair comment. There were so many great defensive plays in last night's game, Terry, and you were one of the very best defensive outfielders to ever play in the history of Major League Baseball. When you watch those defensive plays, that must give you a little more of a, you know, chest bump, and you're kind of going, man, it's fun to watch that part of the game.
Well, you hit it. You know, one play especially last night, that relay the Dodgers made, you know, to from Teoscar to Edmund to Smith. That will go down as one of the great relays in the history of the game. What a great, I mean, it's critical right there that the outfielder hits that second baseman on that throw. I mean, that was the critical part of that. He did, and then Edmund made such a strong throw to the plate. I know they were trying to, you know, to see if there was blockage of the path and everything like that, but you know, he clearly had the ball. You know, he was just basically waiting for the base runner. But yeah, that was some of these plays that Mookie Betts makes at shortstop. He is so athletic to see what he can do. Toronto has been, you know, I think Guerrero has played very well. I mean, I'll say that he's. I did not have the same impression of him as what I have now. You know, he's really been incredible out there. I really tip my cap to Varsho out there in center field. You know, he's a grinder. He gets big hits, but he grinds. He makes the plays, and that throw that your catcher made,
Kirk,
the Kirk, was incredible on Ohtani when he was stealing, because he had a decent. I think Ohtani kind of stumbled with one step about midway through, but that throw was right there.
Yeah.
I mean, without that was a big play.
When you look at all these plays defensively being executed, and we had a lot of our texters come in this morning and saying that the Jays were too aggressive on the base pass. Where are you at with that, Terry? Because I'm on the other side saying you got to be aggressive and make the other team make the perfect, as you say, it was a perfect relay. Where are you at with all that?
Yeah, on that, I don't fault the third base coach at all. With two out, you're trying to score. You don't mind making that third out at home plate, and with any kind of a throw that's been off line, wherever, he scores easily. So that's where you start thinking about where they're making some mistakes occasionally, or making that third out at third base.
Yeah,
I've seen a few of those, on both sides, over the course of the postseason, and that's, you need to always know as a base runner how many outs there are. You always got to know who the next hitter is too. There's a lot of things, especially the third base coach has to always know who that on deck, because you don't want to run yourself out. You'd have to remind me. I don't even remember who.
On that one there, Terry, on that one there, it would have been, if they would have held Schneider, Lucas would have been at second, and then Schneider would have been at third, and then they would have walked Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah, so he would have. Yeah, so then it would have been who was after? Coming after him, or
no, not Varsho. No, coming after on that, it would have been IKF, Isaiah Kiner Falefa, because he came in to pinch hit for Bichette.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you got to send them. You be aggressive. Make them make the play.
Yeah. On that one, I have no problems with that at all.
Yeah.
Making that out. They're and getting back to the original thought, to be more aggressive or not, you have to play offensively in the playoffs. You have to score runs. You can't sit back. When you get a big hit, you got to capitalize on it. And I completely understand. You keep on putting the pressure on the team, and I think that's probably one thing the manager will probably talk to the Blue Jays. Don't lose your aggressiveness here.
Yeah.
Keep on putting the pressure, because in order to score, you have to have opportunities. So you've got to have, like say 5-6 different opportunities throughout the game to score, maybe 2 or 3 times. So you can't just score 2 and 3 times because you have 2 or 3 opportunities. It doesn't work that way. You have to have multiple opportunities. So you got to keep on coming at them, and go down that way.
Terry Poole with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Well, you're no stranger to playing playoff baseball when you were with the Houston Astros, most notably in 1980. You had the tiebreaker that you mentioned a little bit too with the Dodgers, and then ended up playing the Phillies in the 1980 NLCS. Unfortunately, the Phillies got the best of you there, but your performance was one for the ages. What was it about that series against the Phillies, Terry, where you were really feeling it?
Well, you get into patterns as a hitter. You feel comfortable at the plate. You're getting pitches that are over the plate a little bit better. They're not hitting the corners. You're not, balls that you hit are finding holes. Then you relax even more. You're almost like, I can barely wait to get to the plate. So you go through, and that was one of those times. And sometimes you get your career put under a microscope at in a particular series. I think that clearly was it for me. And at least with the Houston Astro organization, they said, okay, there's a guy that we want to tie up for a while. And, I ended up playing, another 10 years over there after that.
Yeah. That playoff series against Philadelphia, maybe just touch on that and how there was quite a battle. I mean, they had a hell of a team just like you guys did.
Yeah, that series, if you remember, the league championship series back then was 5 games, a best of 5, and so that was critical. But 4 of the games went extra innings, and the last one was decided in the 9th inning. So it was a crazy time. I was operating on maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep at the most, and not skipping a beat. The adrenaline was absolutely, going crazy. And I said that I still remember going in at the end of my career with the Astros. I was negotiating my own contract. I knew the general manager pretty well, and I walked in there. I don't know whether it was 89 or 90 or whatever it was the year. And we sat down, and he says, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, don't you remember that series I had in 1980?" And we had a good laugh over it. That was it.
He said, "No, I don't. No, I don't." Yeah.
You got to have fun in the game.
You betcha.
That's the thing with Blue Jays right now. You can't be dropping it. You got to have fun. You got to act the same way. Manager leads all that. That's one thing I like about your manager is he's always he's talking to his players. He's hugging his players. He's doing all kinds of things. That's a good thing. I don't like the manager that sits on the dugout and stares at the game. You got to get in there with with your players. And I had a couple key moments with that Canadian team with some of the Canadian players that I still have great memories about. It's like we did a hit and run with a player, and I told him before he went up on the up to hit, I says, if you go 1-0, we're going to hit and run with the guy on first base. I told him actually before we went, and so he's 1-0 on the count, and so I put the hit and run on, and he drills a double, and we score a run on it, and the connection that player and I had. He was at second base. He was pointing at me, and I was pointing. It was pretty cool. Those are cool memories that you have.
Yeah. Do you miss coaching, managing? It's been a while. Do you miss it?
The quick answer is no. It's a lot of work when you manage it at the college level, because you're doing. I'm sweating with them. I'm throwing BP. I'm hitting fungos, and the age starts catching up to you after a while. And I was traveling too, because I was going to Victoria, which was about an hour and 20 minutes from my house, and so it was time to move on. Plus, I was I'm working at Court of Wealth Management here in Houston, so it was time to step back a little bit with my life and be a normal person for a while. And now I'm the manager of one player, and that's our grandson, and he can hit.
Yeah. So how old's your grandson?
Jackson is he is 8.
Oh, wow.
So it's continually moving forward with his swing, because he understands more all the time. When you first start, you just all you're trying to do is get him to swing the bat, stay aggressive and everything. But now he's starting to, I tell him things and I go, holy cow. I mean, how does he, he can implement them. And so, hitting off a machine, he's going to be absolutely dangerous this spring season coming up.
Is that Steven's son who was with the Mets a little bit? That's like 20 years ago already. Is it not, Terry?
Yeah. No, it's our daughter, Naomi, our oldest. And, she's the producer in the family.
Maybe you heard, but I mean, you did so much time and work with the Canadian baseball program and Baseball Canada. We lost a real good one, passed away a little while ago, Jim Baba, who you would have worked with. That would have been. Have you got some memories about Jim and that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Jim was actually in Beijing at the time when we were over there, so I actually had breakfast with him over there, and a very serious individual and no nonsense, but we didn't really know each other. Of course, we knew of each other, and then when I heard the last part, that was a tough for the family and everything.
Yeah, no question about that. Terry Poole with us on Sports 1440. At the tail end, like when you were at the tail end of your career, Terry, in Houston, and then obviously you went to New York and KC briefly. Was there ever an opportunity to come back and, maybe have a shot to play with either the Expos or even the Blue Jays at that point? Was there ever talks?
No, there really wasn't. Yeah, we made some calls about at that time, my career. But, when you say at the end of your career, my end of, that's the beauty of it. I thought, sometimes the end of my career could have been like 81. And, it's really remarkable how, things just turn around all the time. It's such a grind in baseball. You don't know if you're going to be playing 5 years, 6 years, 10, 12. You don't know. You just, my career resurrected after, I'm just trying to think. It was 86, 87. Our manager, I got a brain cramp. Hellenier. When he left, I got to play again. He and I, he didn't like my style of play apparently. So, but however, Art Howe came back, and Art Howe is our new manager. Well, I was a teammate of Artie, and so now he's my manager, and he knows what I was capable of doing, and he helped resurrect on my career. So I had 1 year where I hit 300 for him, and it's really remarkable how how things are. But with Montreal, I think the time period went by, where I would have been more attractive. In Toronto, I don't think that was really a case, because I really wasn't quite the DH type of hitter. I was in my arm. I had the rotator cuff surgery that I just couldn't bounce back, and they don't do rotators like they do nowadays. So, my arm went down, and that was the reason why I had to fall out of the game, because I couldn't be in the field, and I DH'd one game with the Kansas City Royals one time in Milwaukee. That was my career one DH game. I think I got an RBI. My first American League RBI.
This has been a lot of fun. I always enjoy our conversations. You were one of the first guys I ever interviewed, Terry, when I got into this business in 1990 back in Yorkton, and that was under, Linus Westberg. You mentioned him right off the top. He had already left the old CKOS. Okay. That's what it was.
Yeah, CKOS.
But you were one of the first guys that I ever interviewed way back in the day. So I really appreciate you coming on. Enjoy the rest of the World Series Game 4 tonight, and all the very best health and happiness to you, Terry. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. That's Terry Poole, former Major League Baseball player in 18 errors in 1,300 games played. He was as good of a fielder, and his batting average, 280 career, batted 526 in the 1980 National League Championship Series against the Philadelphia Phillies. He was a hell of a player, and really, again, a trailblazer of sorts when it comes to Canadian baseball players, positional players. Ferguson Jenkins, by far, the best Canadian baseball player, I think, ever. It's always going to be between him and Larry Walker. Both guys are in the Hall of Fame. Ferguson was an outstanding pitcher. Larry came along in a later time, but it was guys like Ferguson Jenkins that helped Terry Poole, and Terry Poole helped all these guys later that came along, and like Larry Walker, like Joey Votto, like Justin Morneau. But before those guys came along, Terry Poole was the best positional player that this country ever produced. And for a guy to come out of a little town in Saskatchewan, unheard of. Because now when you think about the baseball factories in BC, look at Okotoks, where they're bringing all these kids and they put them in those places. It didn't work like that back in the day. This guy was that good. And he never really played outfield until the Houston Astros signed him. He was a pitcher. So he never played outfield until that time when he moved into the Astros organization in the mid 70s. or probably 74, 73, something like that. So when we come back, we'll have some open time. We'll go in or out with the Duke at 9:40ish. We got Matt Coma from NHL.com and Alan Seslowski from RotoWire in the 10 o'clock hour. It's the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about! Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Fall in the savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Alan Olson Auctions presents the annual Rimby Fall Consignment Sale. Online bidding is open now, closing tomorrow at alanolsonauction.com. This 5-ring sale features thousands of lots. Bid on machinery such as tractors, haying and harvest equipment, skid steers, and more. A variety of cattle handling equipment and buildings. A huge assortment of vehicles and RVs. And 2 miscellaneous rings with a variety of great finds. Don't miss the biggest sale of the season. Visit alanolsonauction.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Playing Sports Select is easy. Visit sportselect.com and generate a QR code or check their how to play videos for step-by-step guidance. Sportselect.com. 100% legal, must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:29 in Edmonton. Kevin Carey, Duke of Delburne with you. We got Josh Fenwick, Sam the Record Man, behind the board as well. Sam, did you pick that song yourself? Like, is this your style of music? Like, or what are we looking at?
I listen to just about everything. So
Really?
yeah, it was just something I pulled out the hat.
Really?
Yeah.
If you only had you listened to everything, but if you had to just kind of narrow it down, say you just could maybe 1 or 2 genres.
2 genres. I'm gonna do rock and probably jazz.
Jazz. Well, okay. Out of all the ones I thought, I didn't think jazz would be coming this way. You know, jazz is my number one.
Really?
Oh yeah, but old jazz. Like we're
Okay.
talking like the older, we're into the 75, 80 years, Miles Davis and all this stuff. Do you like that kind of jazz too, or what?
Yeah.
Really?
I couldn't name you a song, but I do like that type of stuff.
So what do you like? Is this when you just get your groove on here, Sam? Like, I mean, what are we looking at? You crack a bottle of red and, get some of that nice lighting going. You got a fire going. Like, what do you got?
Yeah, I'd say about that. Maybe not a bottle of red because I'm not much of a wine guy, but
Wow.
yeah.
It's exciting. I didn't know this about you. This changes a lot of my outlook on you.
Wait, okay.
Wow.
Good to know.
Well, I mean, just think about it. I'm picturing you with, maybe it's a sifter of cognac or something. Listen to a little jazz.
Hey, that does sound like a wonderful evening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, it does. Hey, Duke, we got what are we doing with the picks here then? So if you're gone, and we're gonna
I tell you what,
you want Donnie to pick for you?
I'm gonna leave it in the capable hands of Donovan Paulson. I'll show him the spreadsheet, make sure he understands how it works. It's not rocket
So and
surgery.
he gets first
but
pick on Thursday.
He'll have Thursday night. And here's the question: will he pick his Dolphins to cover 7.5 as the current line against the Ravens?
It's in Miami, correct?
Yeah.
Lamar.
You have to think Lamar is playing this week, right?
Lamar
Because I understand there was a lot of hoopla about him, injury report and stuff about whether if the Ravens are going to see some fine or something going back to this week's game. But short week going into now week 9, I think it makes sense that they didn't play him. And I mean, hey, it worked out. They get the win. And now they've kind of got a run of games here where it's going to be very winnable. An extra couple days of rest for Lamar. I have to think the Ravens are feeling pretty good.
Here's what I'm going to do real sneaky with the Duke out. I'm going to get Eddie to pick 2 games on the Sunday slate, not including the Sunday night.
Wow.
So that there will be a 5-pack available this week when you're gone. And Donnie will be picking 3. He'll be picking 3. So Donnie's going to.
I believe in him. I have faith.
Okay.
Tell you what, I might even text him and offer my thoughts. I'll tell him final decision's up to him, but I'll weigh in.
Have you got I'm just looking. So Eddie's going to pick Vikings and Lions. So that spread's got to be 10. No?
Let's just see. I got to switch over to NFL here.
And hey, how about Carson Wentz here? I mean, is it 10 or no? What?
Sorry.
That's okay. When I say Carson Wentz, so he's obviously he could barely lift his left arm, but he kept going out there because they got nothing. They wanted to save the golden child, JJ McCarthy, for down the road. Correct? Am I crazy in saying that? But Carson Wentz now basically couldn't do anything. The prior game, the Thursday nighter, was useless, and now we know why.
Yeah. I'm seeing 8.5 points for Detroit right now. Who's at home?
Detroit's at home. McCarthy's going to play.
What's their other option? Brosmer?
Yeah. So anyway, I'm certain Eddie will pick one of those ones, like pick that one, the Vikings Lions, and then he'll pick another one, and then we'll look at the Sunday night game. And what have we got on Sunday night, Duke? I got to check that now too. Sunday night's the Seahawks and Commanders, and then Monday, which would be the Cardinals and Cowboys, and that will be. So if Eddie picks 2, Donnie P's selecting the Cardinals Cowboys, and one of the other.
Well, no, he gets pick of the Sunday.
No.
Or what? You'd have first pick.
I would no. Donnie gets pick on Thursday night. So then
and then there's going to be 3 total games on Sunday.
Yeah, but
you would go first.
Yeah, but no. Well,
but we've done it. You don't have to pick them in order. Like if you're first up for the Sunday slate, you can pick whatever.
You can pick
the Sunday nighter if you wanted to. Right now, I'm seeing Seahawks minus 3.5 on the road.
Fair
in DC. So you have to think Chiefs Bills would be another one Eddie would hone in on. Like that's a marquee game. Do you think he's picking marquee games or ugly ones? Like Jacksonville and Vegas? That's ugly. Jags 3.5 on the road.
Eddie will probably take the Saints and Rams.
14? I'm looking at 14 here. 10 for the Chargers over Tennessee. Some more. 13.5 Green Bay hosting Carolina. Then another week of lopsided spreads. Like we've talked about it many times over, Kev. Like there's some very clear disparity, and it's like there's not a lot of mushy middle. It's bad teams, couple good teams, and then a lot of like I don't know. And week to week, it seems to change for a lot of these clubs.
Wow. Text 833-401-1440. Richard, it was absolutely stupid to wave the guy home, have him get thrown out. I believe he's talking about Schneider. Stay on third base and live to fight another day. Well, we just went through this with a guy that played many years in the major leagues of baseball. Was a good runner, stole a lot of bases. He says, send him. Go. Be aggressive. That's how what you have to do to beat this team, Richard. The people that have been saying that this is a lot on the third base coach, Carlos Fabus, I don't get it. Even SKS said, should have held him. I don't know about that, Sean. I think it's the other way around. Terry Poole said, you got to send him. They made the perfect relay with a guy in right field that is not a very good outfielder. Teoscar Hernandez would be, if you look at all the outfielders that are playing in the World Series, Teoscar Hernandez is by far the worst one. Is that crazy to say?
I think 100% at this point. Like there's rewind to his Jays days, right? Like his career. What's the book on him? He's an excellent hitter, power. He's not good in the field.
He made a perfect play.
They said on the broadcast. Terry said it. I think even Nick said it. We had him on first. Like, it was a textbook, picture perfect relay. Like that should be on film to show to players, youth players across the country, across the world, on how to execute a relay. It could not have been done any better.
Mm-hmm. You're sending Schneider again. Lucas is walking into second base. Vladimir Guerrero gets intentionally walked, and they pitch to IKF. That's how the inning goes. You got to send him. When we come back, we're going in or out with the Duke of Delburne. His last in or out for quite some time as the Duke embarks on a trip of a lifetime.
I would describe it as similar.
No, I haven't looked at it yet. Did you put on something to the effect about your attire that has been talked about here on the
No, I think we covered those bases. And I could not believe how staunchly opposed Laddie was about this. I really don't think he understands the concept of a beach wedding.
I don't know if he
like a
does
destination type wedding. Like, I'm not saying this is on the beach of Croatia where you're walking back up into a big, elegant hall and everybody is in their linen suits. And
the pictures you see of the oceanside built into the rocks hotels and resorts.
Yeah,
Laddie.
That's not what we're talking about here. This is an all-inclusive resort.
You're going back
in Cancun.
You're going back to wash your feet off the sand off your feet, Laddie.
So I think I'm probably going to meet somewhere in the middle between where I originally was and where Laddie wanted me to be. I ain't wearing no tie.
Yeah.
I ain't wearing a long sleeve dress shirt, but I think pants, and maybe we'll see what I can do about footwear. We'll see.
There you go. That's coming up right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select, and we're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
Oh, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
For all things golf carts, it's the Golf Cart People. Their certified techs provide expert service from maintenance to custom upgrades. Customers can explore the sales floor for new and used Club Car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go models. The Golf Cart People stock a wide variety of parts and accessories to keep every ride in top shape and offer convenient rentals for tournaments, weddings, and festivals. Trusted for sales, service, parts, accessories, and rentals since 1997. Visit the Golf Cart People at golfcartpeople.com, your complete golf cart solution.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, biscuit, or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:40 in Edmonton. Straight ahead in the 10 o'clock hour, we'll check in with Matt Coma from NHL.com. We'll preview tonight's Oilers and Utah Mammoth game at Rogers Place. Again, 7:30 puck drop down there. And then Alan Seslowski from RotoWire covers the NFL and fantasy football. But before all that, time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Letterbuck.
Blue Jays been the topic of the morning so far, losing a heartbreaker last night. 18 innings, tying a World Series record for longest game in the Fall Classic. They now trail the series 2-1. The difference in last night's game, you can pick apart them. So many different storylines, opportunities, missed chances, etc. I just think Dave Roberts outcoached John Schneider in the game.
I mean, when you're saying like straight up in or out on this one, I'm going to be out. And I know people are going to freak out on me saying that I'm sticking up for Schneider. I'll say it again. The one mistake for him for sure is Barger and Straw going in for Barger at that time.
So,
okay,
I think I agree with you.
Okay. Now the other,
did Dave Roberts make a mistake?
Well, okay. Did Dave Roberts make a mistake? So you say he managed like the perfect
this
perfect
was
game.
This was an 18 inning game where every pitcher got used for both teams, or every bullpen pitcher. Some starters were still down there, and we almost, if Yamamoto would have came into this game, I would have been floored. That is insane. 2 days ago he threw 100 pitches, a complete game. I'm with you, Kevin. I am a believer in John Schneider. I'm not here for all the criticism on him. He's not above criticism at times.
You're saying on one call,
but I think the Barger thing, and I get it. Springer's an injury. You can't help it. Bichette, they clearly have some sort of limit on how many innings he's going to play regardless. I still kind of wish you leave him in all the same just for the bat. But like you take out, and Kirk, it kind of seemed like maybe he was a little banged up too. And
you see how many pitches he took off?
He took like 3 right off the forehead,
and then a couple off the collarbone.
It's tough to criticize the Kirk thing because he's your catcher. He is such a rock back there. You need to have him for the rest of the series. Pulling him after 12, I really think it comes down to the Barger decision.
So on that one,
and honestly, I didn't really love putting David Schneider in for Ty France either. And that was a positional thing. Like you had to do it because you're out of, like you can't play France anywhere else.
Right.
So it's another obligatory move. I think it's just a one call.
But France can't run either. And Schneider was, again, he's a perfect relay from scoring a run. Here's the thing too. This has happened all playoffs and all year long for that matter. The bottom of the order has been getting it done. That's Clement. That's Jimenez. And it's Barger, and Barger in this case, Barger's bat as high as 4th. He's been batting cleanup. So,
and he was 2 for 4 in the game at that point.
That's the one. So if you're going to say on that one call that's it. I mean,
and the reason is because I can't pick apart any move Roberts made. Like he pulled Muncy once he got to or no, he didn't end up pulling him there.
He left him on. That's what both Buck and Schulman were talking about.
Yeah.
That Muncy should have been, and he's probably right.
Yeah.
But again,
especially when you look at the speed that.
But defensively, then what are you going to do? Like, I mean, you already moved Edmund could probably go to third.
Field. Yeah.
Well,
I think that would have been the play, right? Is Edmund would have came in and who the guy coming in would have went to the field. The speed guy.
Call.
Dean.
Oh, Dean.
Because Dean would have came in for Muncy. Call was already in or came in after. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I just look at the way the Dodgers managed it and having essentially their full lineup still in throughout the course of the game. Now, will there be repercussions from that in today's contest where the Jays are going to have a couple fresher bats? I don't know. I mean,
look at how many times he left Pajes in, and Pajes can't hit anything.
Pajes is such a because he's an excellent fielder.
Yeah.
But and like he had 27 or 29 home runs this year. Like it's clearly there, but he's batting like under 100 in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So but they still rolling out. They're just hoping like you just need to pop one.
Yeah, again on the Barger straw insertion, then I'd have to go with you.
I thought Schneider handled the pitching, I mean, as well as you can. And I'm with you, Kevin. I get it. It's almost like a punching bag type joke that Little gives up the game-winning shot. But I mean, he threw almost a season high in pitches in the outing. There was only I went through his game log of the whole year. He pitched a lot, and I think it was only maybe 5 or 6 times he ever went more than an inning and a third.
Yeah.
And so to ask him, most of his appearances are an inning or less, right? To ask him to do that, he's obviously willing to do it. They have no other choices, and it's the World Series.
This is as close of a game as you're ever going to play. And Will Klein through 4 innings.
It's such an, and like you said, you feel for a guy like Eric Lauer who just left it all out there.
Yeah.
But it was a great game, an instant classic. It's just unfortunate it did not go the way for the Blue Jays.
Everyone's in the bullpens are going to be okay. I don't like Sheehan probably is the Lauer, and Klein. Well, Klein's not pitching tonight. Okay.
There's no way.
Okay. Sheehan might see a little bit, but he threw almost 3 innings here too, and threw a lot of pitches. So
and it's like because the Jays had guys come in and actually go an inning, essentially each guy. Like nobody besides Lauer, nobody went for a long time. Whereas like the Dodgers, a couple guys went longer, but they'd have like Kershaw faced 1 batter.
Yeah.
So like
there were 3 guys off the Dodgers roster in the pitching staff that pitched 1/3 of an inning.
Yeah. So they said both teams exhausted the full pen. Yeah. They kind of just went about it in different ways, and it's tough to fault it because the results were right there for both clubs. It came down to an 18-inning game, for goodness sake. Big concern for the Jays today, of course, the status of George Springer, expected to undergo an MRI to further evaluate what appears to be an oblique injury for the leadoff man. If he's unable to go tonight, and I think we're going to, just based on what you've said so far during the show, Kev, I think we're going to be at odds here. I think Ty France should be in at DH. Obviously not going to be batting leadoff. You're going to have to shuffle the order a little bit here. But I'd rather see his bat in to start the game than IKF.
I'm probably going to go out just so Bichette can just focus on hitting. Maybe he lasts a little longer hitting. He doesn't have to worry about playing.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about playing.
But it's not like during these games has he, besides that one play in game 1 where he made the great play, or game 2, excuse me, to his right, and came back across his body. Like apart from that, has he exerted himself at all at second base here?
I just, you saw him after he had that hit. You saw him run to first. He's not. I mean, he's got
clearly
nothing.
still.
I mean, say you could get 9 innings out of him DHing as opposed to 6 playing second and hitting.
Yeah.
What do? Then you probably take the 9 and have IKF at second. And then you still got France coming off the bench.
If that is the case, then I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it is.
You think he's gone after 6?
I think they're just like, you're getting out there and you're getting in 3 or 4 at-bats and you're done.
This could be another case. Like I've always brought it up to you back in 2006 with Ethan Morrow. They froze his foot. Okay.
Get out there.
Well, they froze it, but it only lasts for a certain amount of time.
Well, I think about like the game's 6 hours last.
That's
night.
what,
6.5 hours.
So he's out at probably 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
as long as he can endure the pain and once the freezing's out. So I don't know. I just think that if you have Bichette in still playing second, at least then IKF off the bench gives you that versatility a little bit more. And like I get it, Ty France just got added to this roster. Like he wasn't on it for the for the CS even, but man, I like him as a player, and he's a little more I don't know, reliability at the plate than, say, if you're subbing in Miles Straw or even Schneider at times. I wouldn't mind seeing him get a tough spot for him to come in last night, right? Not even expecting, not warmed up, nothing, just go to the plate. And then he only, I think, batted twice before he got pulled for Schneider. So tough spot, but we'll see how things shake out as the day progresses. Week 8 in the NFL wrapping up last night. Chiefs top Washington 28-7. Kevin finally gets a winner.
Yes,
Head-to-head picks a bizarre interception early in the contest. Marcus Mariota bangs one right off Deebo Samuel's face mask, essentially. Pops up, goes the other way. This is just proof, almost to one of Peyton Manning's points a number of weeks ago on their stream.
That's quarterback.
Interceptions should fall into two different categories. QB interceptions and wide receiver interceptions, because there is no world that should go on Mariota's ledger as his fault.
Of course, it's coming from Peyton Manning, right?
Oh, and we talked about it on air. He had his 5 rule changes proposed, and they're just preposterous.
Didn't he do something about the other day? Was that with Aikman and Buck are giving me nothing? We need more insight on
I didn't see
I
that.
saw that. I was like, okay, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, man. So, but where do you draw the line?
Well, so here's the thing. We, in the game of football, and we see it in hockey too, all these advanced analytics, you're telling me you can break down what's a win rush rate, like the win rate on rushes and protection and stuff. You have everybody someone to break this down and figure it out, and you can't look at an interception and just basically call it black or white and say, all right, we're putting this one on the quarterback and we're putting this one on the wide receiver.
Fantasy players would love it.
Could you imagine a wide receiver interception?
See, even like in our league, if you have a pick 6, like
that's worth more than just a regular pick.
The quarterback gets dinged another 4 points.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's a pick 6.
That might be the case in my league too. I'll be honest. I don't really look at our scoring that close.
Sure. I'll go in.
We got to help out the QBs. They're already so hard done by.
Anything for Peyton Manning here.
For Mahomes last night, a couple calls like that one roughing the passer call when he was rolled back into the end zone.
Something that the
Such
ref
a joke.
The ref was he wanted to call it so bad he was ready to go in.
Unbelievable. Hockey. Oilers. It's kind of crazy because everybody's so Blue Jays heavy. The Oilers are back at home tonight, taking on the red hot Utah Mammoth to start the season. Head coach Chris Knobloch, I'm thinking he should continue to roll out this new defensive deployment of Evan Bouchard with Darnell Nurse and Matthias Ekholm beside Jake Wallman.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is that Bouchard and Nurse were by far the best pairing.
Man, I thought Ekholm and Wallman were
really bad
train wreck.
Yeah. I think they'll probably start the game like that. I don't know if they finish it. Yeah. So it seems to be a common theme. There has to be something that develops between Ekholm and Wallman. I mean, you would think that it shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, Wallman still hasn't found his way with Nurse. And then when Bouchard and Ekholm are together, that's bad too. I want more of a sample size for both. How's that sound? So I'll go in to start, and then we'll see what happens.
See what happens. And finally, today, the legend, Julia Roberts, turning 58 years old. I'm actually surprised. I thought she would have been older than this.
Really?
But anyway, just picking up her best film, my favorite film. Maybe you phrase it however you want. I like Erin Brockovich. I mean, it's not a deep poll or anything. I mean, it's an Academy Award winning performance by her. I think it's her best.
I can't disagree with that. I think Josh would probably like Notting Hill. That's up his alley. What are you shaking your head at?
The best Julia Roberts movie isn't really like one that she headlines. It's clearly Ocean's 11.
That's kind of where I was leaning.
But come on, what's her? She's barely even in it.
What about 12? What is it when she's impersonating herself? That's where the egg is. Is it 13?
That's
I've
13.
only ever seen
That's Ocean's 13 with the egg.
Yeah,
Matt Damon has the nose and stuff. Yeah.
She's impersonating herself in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that one.
I don't know. I'll probably still go with Brockovich, Duke. I mean, there's a couple scenes in Pretty Woman that are.
Well, I like Pretty Woman because it's got like the quotes and stuff, right? It's like big mistake. huge. Everyone knows that. It was on The Office. It's kind of like ascended pop culture. It's sort of transcended the film itself. But I like Aaron Brockovich, based on the true story, the fighting the power, fighting the man. And
do you know
she was in her? I think she's in her prime.
Do you know that scene in Pretty Woman when Richard Gere has I don't know, it could be a pearl necklace or some kind of necklace, and he holds it out to her, and then he snaps the box closed? That was not scripted.
Really?
Yeah, that's all. And then the reaction.
So it's genuine.
Genuine. Yeah, the reaction is like totally 100%.
Isn't that something? Yeah, I like Pretty Woman. I think it's
like, how about when she's in
movie.
even singing that Prince song in the bathtub?
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm a big Julia Roberts guy.
I know you are.
I think she's.
So you thought she was older?
I did. Like, Pretty Woman came out in 1990.
Yeah.
So she obviously would have been pretty young.
Mm-hmm. Here's one Coochie texts in, Sleeping with the Enemy.
Ooh.
You remember that one?
No.
Oh man, Duke, it's pretty good. Like the husband was crazy. Like he was OCD, was nuts. Like he was the guy that put all the labels of the tomato cans and the soup.
Oh, it got to be all in the same.
The same, and the towels had to be the same. And he abused her quite a lot. And she learned how to swim to get away from him.
Really? I might have to check this out.
She jumped overboard. And I was like, because when they're on the boat there, Josh, you probably remember that one. It's the husband there is screaming out, Laura, Laura. So that's what I do at home all the time, too. Just good stuff, Duke. That's now you don't have to worry about in or out for an awful long time.
But I gotta just keep listen. I'm not saying I'm gonna be checking in on the program, but I will have to make sure, because I don't want when I come back, maybe Donovan just mows all my grass and all these things I've got stored away or thinking about talking about, he's gonna bring up. So I'll have to check in, make sure I don't double up on any questions.
I just want you on Friday somehow
to check in on the
if the Halloween costume.
Yeah. Oh, that won't be a problem. Won't be a problem.
Good stuff. Top of the hour, we got Matt Coma from NHL.com. We'll talk about the Mammoth. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Loca's not your average grocery store. We're a butcher. We're a baker. We almost could be a candlestick maker. Just kidding. But it's a cafe. It's a deli. It's a rotisserie. And it's a pizzeria. And the best part of it all, it's all under one roof. The place on 142nd is amazing, close to the neighborhood, all under one roof. Shop local at loca.ca. Here is Sam, the record man.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
In the NHL tonight, Oilers got a game of their own going on here. Oilers in action tonight against the Mammoth. They charge into Rogers Place, puck drop at 7:30, and Frozen Frenzy in the NHL tonight with all 32 teams in action. Flames versus Leaf, Canucks against the Rangers, Sens in Chicago, the Canadiens heading to Seattle, and the Jets taking on the Wild. World Series Game 4 in Los Angeles after the marathon match last night. Bieber on the bump for the Birds. First pitch at 6 p.m. And in the NBA, only 5 games tonight as the Sixers head to Washington. The Hornets and Heat face off. Knicks and Bucks go head-to-head in Milwaukee. The Kings look to give the Thunder their first loss of the season, and the Clippers and Warriors wrap up the night. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Matt Coma from NHL.com, covering the Utah Mammoth. And this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilness.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered. With half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West End and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Albertans celebrate a bounty of beautiful places to visit, boundless adventures to take, all in driving distance. And Sherwood Honda has the fuel-efficient vehicle that helps you go even further and appreciate more. Hybrid CRVs and Civics mean more thanks in your tanks, more great trips to be grateful for. And of course, Sherwood Honda is thankful for the chance to help you get there. It's a beautiful time of year, and it sure would be nice to hit the road with Sherwood Honda.
The Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 10:01 in Edmonton. Time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by a Fountain Tire. And if you're thinking about swapping your tires, well, a lot of people are right now because it's that time of the year. We got to get winter coming around the bend here. It's just a couple weeks away. Fountain Tire's got up to 15% off right now. It's a great time to make the switch and grab a new set of winter tires before the rush hits, because starting in November, man, they're going to be booked up. So make a call right now. Check them out at fountaintire.com as we welcome in Matt Coma from NHL.com. Covers the Utah Mammoth. Morning, Matt. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
So how cool is it right now to be covering this Mammoth team? Winners of 7 in a row. They're the story of the Western Conference. It's just it's a great story in the early going here.
Absolutely. So we expected to see a little bit of an up level from the Mammoth this year in year 2 of it being in Utah, but we never expected it to be this hot, this fast. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody's clicking on all levels here. The forwards are getting it done. Defensively, they're playing very well, and goaltending's been outstanding as well. They've been a really fun team to watch over this, especially this last 7 games. They kind of got out of the gate a little bit slow with that 1-2 start, but ever since that 4-game homestand and now this road trip, they have been just lights out.
How would you describe what their top 6 looks like in the sense of the personnel, Matt? But have they been playing together for the most part, or does the Bear move things around a little bit in that top 6?
No, so the 6 has been the same the entire season so far. Of the top 6 so far, it's been kind of funny. Last year, Utah had that one line. It was Keller, Hayton, and Schmaltz at the beginning of the year. Then it kind of warped into Cooley and Gunther being with Keller in that top line. Now there actually is a top 6 for Utah. They have kept the Hayton, Schmaltz, and Keller line together. They've been clicking right off the bat as they did early in the season last year, but especially Schmaltz and Keller, they're having their best starts to a season in their career so far. And then you have the young guns that's kind of been Utah's top line so far this year in that Gunther, Cooley, and Peterka line. They're still trying to gel together. You can kind of see it. They're still kind of trying to figure out where they are on the ice, but they are putting goals at a high rate right now. Logan Cooley's just been tearing it up over the last couple of games. They have 2 solid forward lines that will probably stay together for most of the year, barring if anything happens there. But they have a lot of firepower in that top 6.
You saw Josh Doan, you saw Michael Kesselring. We saw him here, Matt, for, the time that he spent in the Oilers organization. But, the trade for J.J. Peterka, you always say you got to give up something to get something. But, Bill Armstrong, is he taking the balaclava off for this trade yet?
Seems like that was just an interesting thing that we saw with that trade. It's like when we saw, they got JJ Peterka, but what did they give off in return? It's Doan and Kesselring. It's like those are two guys that were pretty well loved here in Utah as well. Doan's still coming in his career. Kesselring was a great defenseman in his first year in Utah as well. So you gave up two pretty good assets, but to get a level of a player like Peterka that can fit into that line, that goal scoring threat. That's what Utah needed this year. They needed more goal scoring threats. Having Peterka and then getting him to slide into that line with Cooley and Gunther, Turney hasn't had to change the lines at all. They were able to keep Keller, Hayton, and Schmaltz together, which they had to break up halfway through the season. Now you add Peterka to that Gunther Cooley line. You've got a lot of that firepower. And Peterka, he still hasn't quite turned it up a little bit. He's contributing more on the assist side than the goal side. But once that line kind of clicks, I think that he will be a big-time goal scorer for Utah this year.
Mm-hmm. Matt Coma from NHL.com covers the Utah Mammoth, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. So let's stick with the forward group and just maybe touch on the bottom six. What's impressed you with what you've seen so far with the third and fourth lines here, Matt?
It's been doing the simple plays for Utah so far. They've been really strong defensively this year, and credit to the bottom six. Turney's hasn't had a problem with going up against some of the top, sending those two lines into the top lines against some of these opponents. They went against top line against Winnipeg back on Sunday. They've getting a couple of goals. Carcone scored in that game against Winnipeg back on Sunday. They're getting contribution out of their bottom six, but the most important thing is getting pucks out of their own end, not spending so much time in their defensive zone, getting to go the other way. That's kind of just been across the board for Utah really this year. They've been much better defensively than they have been in the past. Normally last year, they would get to a goal or be kind of in the mix with some of these top teams, and then you kind of falter, kind of lay back, sit on their heels a little bit. They haven't done that this year, and the credits goes to that bottom six as well. Kevin Stenley, Brandon Tanev's been a fantastic addition to this bottom six for Utah. He's brought an addition of speed to that bottom six. You're getting goals from Lawson Krause. You're getting goals from Carcone. Heck, Liam O'Brien has a goal, his first in Utah since the club moved here. So they're getting contributions out of that line, but it's really just making the simple plays and getting things going the other way for Utah.
Matt Coma with us on Sports 1440. On the back end, when Mikhail Sergachev came over from the trade with Tampa Bay, Matt, did the organization say we're going to build our defense around this guy right away, or did it sort of happen organically, internally? Maybe just touch on that.
No, it's from the get-go that Sergachev was the leader of this defensive core. You had Sean Durzi, you had a couple of guys that were coming from the Arizona Coyotes at the time when they came to Utah. They made the trade for John Marino in the offseason that same summer as well. They got Sergachev. But Sergachev's been the leader of that defense ever since he's been to Utah. He's been a fan favorite here in Utah as well. Just immediately has just blended into the Utah community here. Everybody loves him. He's just been that leader. And now he's playing with Dmitry Simashev on his D pair. Simashev started on the third defensive pair to start the season. Now he's with his Russian teammate. Those two guys have been the top defensive pair for Utah over this last probably 8-9 game stretch, and they've both been looking very well. And Sergachev being that leader has kind of helped Simashev in his rookie year kind of get into that next level of his game. He's been able to perform well so far, and I think a lot of that is credited to Sergachev.
Would you say that, when they're building this defense here, Matt, like Sean Durzi would have been their number 2 guy? Is it just bad luck with all the injuries last year and even this year so far? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, it's just kind of been just unlucky past 2 seasons for Sean Durzi. He got hurt in the 4th game last season. This year, the 2nd game. They expect him to be back in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, he'll be able to get back in there because Utah did take a jump defensively last year when Durzi re-entered the lineup there. They had to kind of just mix around a lot of guys that played defensively just because of injuries throughout the season last year. They haven't had that minus Durzi so far this year, knock on wood, but Durzi adds that extra layer to that defense when he comes back. I'd say it has been unlucky for him, but I expect him to make a difference when he gets back into the lineup too.
Don't know too much about Dmitry Simashev, but has he been playing with Sergachev for the most part the entirety of the season?
Yeah, so Simashev started, I believe he started with Ian Cole, the first 2 or 3 games of the season. But once they got to the homestand, to that home opener and stuff, he's been playing alongside Sergachev, both the Russians there. Simashev, of course, in his first year, played in the KHL, won a KHL championship last year out there in Russia. And say he's kind of, he kind of jumped at the get-go at training camp this year too. We were kind of curious to see how both him and Daniil Boot, the forward that was also on that team in the KHL with Simashev last year, how they would adapt to playing in the NHL. Simashev took it to a duck to water. Like, he was immediate impact, and he's played really well so far over these first 10 games. He's, like I say, he's on the first line with Sergachev. He's been asked to be in that top spot. He's going against these top units that they've been playing over the last couple of weeks, and he's done well so far.
We always, I mean, I've followed him for a long time here. Dylan Guenther, when he was with the Oil Kings, obviously went down to Arizona and now Utah. But I mean, you can't ask for a nicer guy, nicer young man, a team guy, a family guy that just respects the hell out of everyone. When you cross paths with a guy like Dylan Guenther and you get to talk to him and you see him on a daily basis, the sky's the limit for this guy. And he had a really good year last year. Now the contract kicks in, but man, they got a really good one for a long time here with Utah.
He has 13 game-winning goals since he's gotten to Utah.
Unreal.
That's insane. The kid's unreal, and he, like you said, the sky's the limit for him. He's just he's a great guy to talk to, whether it's practice, morning skates, after the games. He's always composed. He's always just salt of the earth kind of guy that you love to talk to, that we enjoy talking to. A lot of the guys in Utah in that locker room are pretty down to earth. Let's say, love the state of Utah, love to play here for the Mammoth. But Gunther's he's just turned it even to another level. Yes, he got that contract extension last year, but even this year, he's kind of just been the scoring threat for Utah. I mentioned the game-winning goals. He's been a factor in all of these wins that Utah's had this year. He's, like I say, he's blending well with Cooley and Guenther, especially Cooley. Him and Cooley have done really well over the last couple of games, just kind of finding each other. You saw the game-winning goal against Winnipeg on Sunday, just kind of that no-look backhand pass from Cooley, and Gunther's right place, right time for it. It's fun to watch these young kids. Can you believe that line? The oldest kid on that line is 23 years old. That's ridiculous.
It doesn't make sense when you think about it, right? It just because they are they playing with no fear? I always think about Matt, a young golfer. They don't care. They'll take they'll go all in. I got to cover 260 over water. Doesn't matter. They play with no fear.
Exactly. They go with, quiet confidence is the best way I can put it. Andre Tourigny after the last game in Winnipeg said, the team's playing. Last year it was excitement and hope that the team was playing. This year it's excitement and confidence. Yeah. That's been the big thing this year, especially with the young group. They've been let them go out, do their thing. They've been confident on the puck. You can see it in the scoring output over the last 3 games on this road trip. Even going back the last couple of games on the homestand, they're playing with that quiet confidence. They know that they can be in these games. They know that they can finish these games as well. The Boston and Colorado games on the homestand are big examples of that. They were able to hold on to the lead, even get back into the lead in both of those games. Yeah. They have that confidence that they know that they can hang in these games and they can take that next level in this year 2 here in Utah.
Matt Coma, NHL.com, covers the Mammoth. Yeah, year 2 in Utah. And we touched on this earlier, and we have in the past. I mean, in Phoenix, in Arizona, I mean, the ownership was so bad, it couldn't have been worse. And just even stories about, they can't even afford or don't even want to have protein shakes or smoothies for guys after the game, to where they are now. What do the players think of the total 180 of where the team is to ownership, the facility, everything like that, Matt?
I'd say it's been glowing reviews from all the players talking about it. They just opened up the brand new practice facility a couple of weeks ago down here in Utah. They have a state-of-the-art facility that's the envy of the rest of the league right now. They have every benefit, every asset that they could want and need. They're still renovating the Delta Center too. They're only in year 1 of their 3-year plan to fully renovate that building to be a hockey arena / basketball arena for the Jazz as well. But they have everything at their disposal in order to go out there and go perform at the best that they can. They've had nothing but glowing reviews just from Ryan Smith, the ownerships, to Bill Armstrong, who's running the GM spot, to just the day-to-day things that they have at their disposal. It's been nothing but positivity here in Utah so far.
And what about the Bear? We touched on him, and you mentioned him, Andre Tourigny, the head coach. So this is a guy 20 years ago where, he's coaching in Rouyn-Noranda with the Huskies, Matt. And, people are saying, players are telling him, hey, Barry, you got to work on your English. You got to work on your English because you could be a coach in the NHL. You're that good. But, this is one of the things that's hindering you. And he works on it. And then he goes, with the Canadian program, so many levels with the national team at junior level or senior, whatever you want to talk about it. How has he grown, do you think, as the head coach of this team?
It's been interesting to see this year too, because we kind of saw last year there was all the hype and buzz about just having a hockey team in Utah. There wasn't a whole lot of expectations. Everyone knew kind of coming in that this was still a couple of years into a rebuild. There was still just progress to be made. And people were pleasantly surprised with what Tourigny and the Utah Hockey Club at the time did last year in Salt Lake. This year, the expectations have jumped up. Everybody expects this team to make the playoffs this year. Andre Tourigny is going to be the face of this thing. If he can be the guy that leads the team to that playoff berth, be the first one in franchise history. But he's been the guy that's been trying to kind of keep everybody composed. I talked about the quiet confidence. He's been the guy that keeps preaching it when we talk to him, whether it's at practice or before games, after games. He's always been, we try to keep level-headed. We try to stay one game at a time. We don't try to play to the level of our opponent. We try to play exactly how we want to play. And he's kind of instilled that he's mentioned since day one at training camp that we play the way we want to play. We need to take our game up to the next level. And so far, it's been working so far here this season.
What kind of game you think we're going to see tonight, Matt? Bit of a track meet or what?
I'd say I'm really excited to see how the speed of Utah goes against the speed of Edmonton. Edmonton's been kind of Utah's kryptonite last year. They didn't win a single game against the Oilers last year. Did a little bit better when the game was here in Utah, but they had the 2 games up in Edmonton towards the back half of the season, and they got just wheeled out of the barn in those 2 games. So we'll see how tonight goes. They do get them on the front end of the schedule. I'm curious to see how they do with Edmonton still trying to kind of find their footing and stuff like that. But they won't see Edmonton until the end of the season. I think they play twice in the final 3 weeks of the season. But tonight, I'm curious to see how Utah comes out. They've jumped out of the gate in all these games on the road trip. St. Louis, Minnesota, they came from behind against Winnipeg, but they've been able to have hot starts in these games. I would expect them to have to do the same if they want to compete with Edmonton tonight.
Like Montreal was here last week, Matt, and the Canadians, as you know, they got a quick team. They're speedy. They get to pucks very, very quickly, and the Oilers were no match for them for a couple of periods. So, I mean, if the Oilers come out like that against Montreal, they're going to be in trouble against Utah tonight. So,
well, especially in the neutral zone too. Let's say they do such a good job of getting through the middle zone and just getting back into that offensive zone. I think the neutral zone will be the key factor tonight and see who gets that win.
Hey, good stuff, Matt. Really appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
That's Matt Coma, NHL.com. Covers the Utah Mammoth. It's a 7:30 puck drop here at Rogers. Between the Oilers and Utah. And again, 7-game winning streak for the Mammoth. They are the talk of the Western Conference right now. That was the Puck Report brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, it's changeover time. If you want to save 15% on select tires, Fountain Tire is the place to be. It's the perfect excuse to get road ready right now. Check them out, fountaintire.com. When we come back, Alan Seslowski from RotoWire and Fantasy. That's coming up. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook.
Michelle and Colette are sisters. Sisters who don't agree on much, especially when it comes to which hockey team is the best.
Edmonton is the best, baby. Vancouver's #1.
Even when it comes to meat snacks from Wilhawks.
I love the Harris Schwiener. The ham sausage rules.
But they will agree.
Wilhawk beef jerky is the best.
It might just be the only thing Alberta hockey fans can agree on.
Others can try to imitate, but no one can duplicate Wilhawk beef jerky. Only available in the Duke. Get yours today because you don't win friends with salad.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Edmonton sports fans stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Al Hamilton, first captain of the Edmonton Oilers. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men, and here in Alberta, we're fighting back. This November, every dollar you give helps the Prostate Cancer Center fund early detection, testing, and life-saving support right here in our province. Let's keep it in Alberta for our fathers, brothers, husbands, and friends. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your men's health fundraiser or donate today. Together, we can look after the men in our community. Thank you for your support.
Game day sauce. Buddy, quit rolling up to the bar and looking like it's grade 9 grad and you're wearing your dad's old work suit. Do yourself a favor and call Game Day Suits.
Game Day Suits is Alberta-based and makes fully customizable, made-to-order suits. Perfect for hockey teams, wedding parties, or even the office crew. Book your free consultation at GameDaySuits.ca.
I'm rocking one right now. I look deadly.
You know they can't see you, right?
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you want to go, tough guy?
Game Day Suits!
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:21 in Edmonton. Time to talk a little, well, all things football. Looking forward to having talked to the big Seslowski for a while as we welcome back Alan Seslowski from RotoWire to the show. Good morning, Alan. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Do you mind if I borrow that nickname, the Big Seslowski? It's like the Big Lebowski, I'm assuming, right? A little play
Sure,
on.
but no one's really called you that before?
I mean, listen, the Americans, you know, they can't think of good nicknames. I have to go to all the way to Canada to get a good nickname.
Hey, I love giving out nicknames. If you want the Big Seslowski, you got her, baby, man. Hey, you know what? I saw a post on X from you. I think it's a couple of days ago, but you're ranking the best quarterbacks from the New York Jets after Broadway Joe. And when I looked at that list, I was like this is like the late 60s here, you know? And I'm going, we're talking 50 plus years.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it when you look at the list. Maybe just touch on that if you can, Alan.
Yeah, well, the idea was that I'm a lifelong New York Jets fan, and this is basically you really have to hate yourself to do this, right? You're born into it, you hate yourself. It's like a cult you just can't get out of. But that said, you know, Broadway Joe Namath, who famously predicted guaranteed a win in the Super Bowl, we can't count him. He is like Jets royalty. But after that, the idea was I ranked the top 25 Jets quarterbacks, and they've had to be on the Jets at that point. And if you look at that list, it's like ridiculous, right? There's like nobody on there. It makes you want to throw up. Like I have Aaron Rodgers on there, right? Because he spent 1 year on the Jets. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time, but his Jets stint, I mean, you know, he's barely a top 10 player. So, I mean, the list goes up for, you know, Ken O'Brien would be the best Jets quarterback of all time. And if he famously was picked over Dan Marino, an all-time great, right? Like, and people were head scratching at the time. Mark Sanchez, who led the Jets to 2 AFC championships, who's considered like a less than average good quarterback, is like top 4 on this list. So it's a disgusting list for self-hating Jet fans.
It is. It brings back memories for me.
Which one? Which name?
I probably Chad Pennington.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah. But it does. And then you got Sam Darnold, then you have forgot in brackets and Mike Williams forgot. Like, oh man.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to forget probably is it, right? Because there's so many times that New York sports teams, especially football teams, have pretty good players and they go away off the New York teams and then they become like really good or great players. Look at Daniel Jones on the Colts this year. He's like an MVP candidate. And Sam Darnold, by like all of like the under the hood metrics, is pretty much like a top 5 quarterback. And of course, Geno Smith. So they have to, that means that there's a problem with ownership and infrastructure. I can go on and on about this. It's getting, I didn't realize this is going to be a depressing call.
I know. Hey, well, I'll get away from the depression. There's that documentary on Football Life. I believe it's a 2-parter on Joe Namath. You've seen it, I assume. And then that one part where the police officer's talking about seeing Broadway Joe come out of that bar with 2 women on like one on each arm at 4:30 in the morning. So he bet like a week's salary or something on the Jets to lose that day.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot what's going on right now in like the NBA, right? This insider information, except that one seems legit. I mean, come on, that's a real quarterback right there. 4:30 in the morning, all drunked out and you know, women on his arms. I mean, that's why he was successful, because he did.
And then he threw for 3 TDs out and the cop says, I lost everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are like the days when guys were like smoking cigarettes in like the dugouts in baseball, you know?
Hey, what did you make of the Jets this last week to come back and everything with Nick Mangold and Justin Fields? That was a good ending to a week for the Jets.
Yeah, especially Justin Fields. Like, he's a very likable guy, and nobody likes the Woody Johnson about like what he said about him. But remember, as a Jets fan, we're rooting for losses right now because we want the more losses you get, the better your draft pick is going to be. And there's no way the Jets are making the playoffs. Obviously, they're one of the worst 3 teams in the NFL. And with that, that's the Jets. Even when they're winning, they're losing. But of course, you know, honoring the great Nick Mangold, who's going to be a Hall of Fame lineman. And so by all measures was a great guy. And they did it for Nick and the Justin Fields thing, like you said, that's good. But come on, man, Jets, even when they're winning, they're losing. I mean, that's the story.
No question about it. Alan Seslowski from RotoWire, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Well, let's just sort of kind of recap week 8, what you saw game-wise, fantasy-wise. What caught your eye, Al?
I mean, the injuries just keep stacking up, but that's fantasy football, right? Like, we're always going to have, our teams are chugging along. They're doing well. Cam Scatterbo, the rookie running back on the New York Giants, was looking like one of the best picks in fantasy football. I mean, for all your listeners that play fantasy football, and that's pretty much everybody nowadays, right? I mean, you got him in like the 10th, 11th round. He was one of the funnest players to own, right? Like, you knew his career was going to be like the 40 best games ever, because he just runs so hard. This is not how I thought he'd go out with the gruesome injury where the foot was twisted the other way. Now, here's the good news. If you play, for next year, he will be back. This is the same injury that Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott had a few years ago, and he'll be back. There's no ligament tears. They were able to do successful surgery. So Cam Scatterbo, I think, was like the storyline of last week. And also running back Jonathan Taylor on the Indianapolis Colts. We see this every year. There's one non-quarterback, Kevin, that it pushes themselves and is a true league winner in our fantasy leagues and starts getting like the MVP talk. But as we've seen, only quarterbacks usually win that award. But hey, why not? Jonathan Taylor has 3 touchdowns in 3 straight games. I mean, this is like nuclear button. If you were going up against Jonathan Taylor in your fantasy football league, James Cook on the Buffalo Bills, or Saquon Barkley, you probably lost if they only started 3 players.
Would Taylor be your MVP right now, Al?
if I was betting on this, like in some of in the wagering markets, I don't think you can bet on a non-quarterback. It's a losing bet. That's why they developed the Offensive Player of the Year award, even though he's deserving. Just go back a couple of years ago, Kevin, like Cooper Kupp had that like nuclear season and he wasn't the MVP. And then Saquon Barkley last year was breaking records. He wasn't MVP. They usually give it to a quarterback. So I think that just like blindly betting Patrick Mahomes, who is deserving of the MVP this year, is probably the best bet. He's got some plus odds, but Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield until last year, I still believe it's going to be a quarterback because that's just traditionally like 18 of the last 20 or something like that have been. I think like Adrian Peterson going back, 15 years at this point was probably the last guy to be MVP of the league.
Alan Sazowski, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. So it's National Tight End Day on the weekend. It followed up even to last night with Kelsey. Go back to Thursday with Gadsden. Man, this was a big weekend for tight ends, Alan.
Do you buy into those fake holidays? I just need to know.
We'll take any holiday up here, big guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand why they do it, right? Like a fun thing. And, I think you can even wager on the under over if you watch like any of the football broadcasts, like how many times they say National Tight Ends Day. But, look, we're talking about it, right? It gets people talking about the NFL. So I guess there is a clever marketing angle to it. But you mentioned the one name I want to get into here a little bit. Rookie tight end on the Chargers, Oronde Gadsden, who basically we were told this year, Kevin, that this was going to be the year of the rookie running back. This has been the year of the rookie tight end. Not only did we have 2 first-round tight ends, Tyler Warren, who looks like he's taking the league by storm for the Indianapolis Colts, both in real football and in fantasy football, Colston Loveland, but we've had guys like Oronde Gadsden emerge out of, I guess, kind of nowhere, who were, late round picks in the real NFL draft. He has basically shoved some of the other veteran guys out of the way and is now a dominant part of that passing attack right now. And it shouldn't, when we look back, we should have seen this coming. Mm-hmm. He was a college wide receiver converted to tight end. And usually when we hear that in the NFL, that's almost like a death sentence, right? It's like, oh yeah, go play a different position. You're not good enough for this one. There was actually a time where there was prominent NFL analysts, Kevin, that told Lamar Jackson he should play wide receiver, LOL, right? But back to Gadsden. I mean, we've seen it. It's not just sometimes the size of the sample, because the sample in the NFL is always small. It's the magnitude. He has just exploded. And Justin Herbert, the quarterback on the Chargers, looks like he has found a love connection. If there's any way to trade for Gadsden, and I can't imagine anybody that has him on their team right now is letting him out of their grips, I would just figure out a way to get it done. Give somebody that maybe lost a running back or a wide receiver, a player that's performing well, like a T. Higgins on the Bengals, who just, had a deceivingly good/bad game. Jalen Waddle. I want Gadsden on my team. I think when we look up in our fantasy championships, you just outlined the perfect guy on National Tight Ends Day. He's our guy.
Alan, I agree with everything you said. I just hope that he can maybe expand his usage and how good he is on his blocking assignments. Because if you really watch the last game, he missed a few blocks and it might have cost a little bit there. But again, there's something about where a quarterback, as you say, finds a guy and they love a guy, and he's one. The other guy I got to mention, and he's right up there as far as rookies go, and I was lucky enough to draft him in the 16th round, is Harold Fannin Jr. What do you make of him?
Oh man, he has been one of the great stories too of the fantasy season. And when we talk about he looks like he is an elite guy, right? I mean, and another player who had super high production at the college level, but all the draft nicks in the NFL ignored it a little bit because he did it at a school that nobody really respects as far as the top 10, 15, 20 schools. He was at a school called Bowling Green. But again, the magnitude of the sample, Harold Fannin, a normal tight end might get like 600 to 800 yards, maybe 1,000 yards if they're super elite. Harold Fannin in his final college year had over 2,000. That's more than double. Sure, was it at a school that had lesser competition, but he did what you're supposed to do to that competition. Comes into the NFL, again, it's more like a wide receiver, and it doesn't matter that there was an experienced tight end ahead of him. He has been one of the most reliable targets, not just for both of the quarterbacks that have started games for the Browns. You just outlined it. Man, next year, between Gadsden, Harold Fannin, those two guys are going to be very popular picks, and they're top 8 options the rest of the way.
I'm sure one thing that drives the big Sislowski nuts is when you get calls, texts, whatever, from fantasy football players, and they go, "Well, this guy, that guy." Well, and this guy should be rostered, player X. He's got to be rostered, but for some reason he's not. Is there a player out there that you don't think is rostered right now that is a real sleeper at the running back position, Alan, that maybe down the road here might see something? I'm kind of thinking almost like, and Alvin Kamara says, I'm not leaving New Orleans, but even like a guy like a Devin Neal or something like that is so off the radar. Anyone like come to mind for you there?
Yeah, see, this is why I love the show, because we do the deep cuts, right? We don't just go on the A side of the records. I mean, that's a reference for anyone over 50, I guess, right? Nobody knows what records.
That would be me.
Yeah, me too. But deep cuts is how we win our fantasy football leagues. And I think that what you hit, it's not just about the specific players. And I'll give you a couple that I like to roster that should be rostered. It's a good way to put it. But this time of the year, we hit around week 8, week 9. I think a strong, sound fantasy football strategy is you start cutting your depth, right? We have a couple more bye weeks, so you still might need some depth. But what we want to do is, to our 5 or 6 bench spots, is add 1 injury away running backs. Mm-hmm. Running backs where that if the starter gets injured or misses a game, we could project them safely for 15 or 20 touches. We can't do that at any other position. We can't, if the wide receiver goes out on a specific team, the backup wide receiver, they're lucky if they see 2 to 3 targets. Now, they might get them, but they're not really projectable. Whereas you just named the perfect guy, Devin Neal, who's the backup rookie running back on the New Orleans Saints. If Alvin Kamara misses a game and he's, or if he gets traded at the trade deadline, we already know, and we don't know how good Neal is, but it almost doesn't matter. Running back is a position of opportunity. Wide receiver is more of a position of skill. So I would say there are a couple guys right now. I'll just give you a couple names. Emmanuel Wilson on the Green Bay Packers. Now, the secret might be out on him because he did basically get the same number of touches. He got about 11 rushing attempts last week, but he is the clear 1-to-1 backup for starter Josh Jacobs. Now, if you play fantasy football and you have Josh Jacobs on your team, you already know that that he's been like one of the reasons you're at the top of the standings. So if Emmanuel Wilson, who's still rostered in less than half of some of the mainstream fantasy platforms, he needs to be on your roster. And then I would say one other player that will probably be dropped this week is, or may have been dropped last week. It's not like a sexy pick, but it's Zonovan Knight, Bam Knight. And the reason because he was just coming off a bye. The Arizona Cardinals, they have, their starter James Conner's been out for the year. Trey Benson is still a couple weeks from coming back, and they just released another one of their depth running backs named Michael Carter. So that leaves Bam Knight, who probably was dropped because he was on the bye last week. He has 15 to 18 touches off the bus this week. He should be not only picked up, but he could be played in week 9.
Even in Cleveland, we'll see what happens with Judkins, but Dylan Sampson could fall in that category. And another one too, do you think, and it's with your Jets, do you think they move on from Breece Hall? And what would that open up for a guy like Isaiah Davis?
Oh, man, you're asking about you're giving me the tingles over here with all these great names that you're talking about. Now, Isaiah Davis is more of a pass-catching back, but look what he did last week. He caught everything they threw at him, including that amazing 2-point conversion. He is the perfect guy. Like, he should be a priority over even the guys that we talked about. He should be the number one because Davis looks like he has a role regardless of what happens with Breece Hall. Now, Breece Hall's name has been bandied about as far as like a high-priority trade target, and the Jets should trade him. They didn't extend him. The only thing that they could do is either give him a mega contract next year or what they call a franchise tag, which is basically they keep him under team control for one more year and they have to pay him at the top of the market. So that's unlikely to happen. The Jets are probably going to lose him anyway. So I could see them trading him away for, a pretty good draft pick, which would leave Isaiah Davis, league winner. Oh, man. You know what? That is the name. I gave you a few good names, but Kevin gave you the name. If Isaiah Davis is out there in your fantasy league, you need to take your fab money or your waiver priority, shove everybody else out of the way, and stick them on the back of your roster today.
Hey, last one for you, Alan. Is there a game or maybe a matchup this week in week 9, fantasy-wise, where, hey, this is what I'm really looking forward to? everyone's looking at that Chiefs Bills game, in real life, but is there something else that is catching your eye this week?
I think that the Miami Dolphins on Thursday night against Baltimore Ravens has some sneaky fantasy point upside. If you look at some of the team totals, there are some high totals this week, but that one is over 50 points. And Tua is not going to be benched just yet. Had a great fantasy day. Everyone hates Tua, but listen, there are times where he has some high upside. And now the fantasy tree is basically it's all Jalen Waddle. So if I have Jalen Waddle, I'm really excited to start him on Thursday night, and maybe, hopefully, we'll actually get Lamar Jackson back this week. There was, the Baltimore Ravens are in a little bit of hot water because they may have misrepresented some of the practice reports, but it sounds like that by all accounts that we're going to see Lamar Jackson this week, and I think that boosts all of the fantasy value of all the players around him. I mean, it's always better for Derrick Henry. It's always better for Zay Flowers. So that game, I think that Thursday night football often gets a bad name, but I think we're going to see a high-flying scoring affair on Thursday night.
Oh, that would be good. I have Jalen Waddle, so he's in the lineup. No question. For the big Kozlowski. That's just for you.
You are too. You know what? You have the good. And who's your favorite team, by the way? Who's your favorite NFL team?
Well, you know what? We have a texter called MTR, and I think you see this shirt. I got this shirt when I was down in LA at a game 8 years ago. I mean, we just went to a game, but I bought the shirt. So it's nice. And I don't I'm like the Duke here. I don't buy a whole lot of new clothes. And this is a nice, comfortable shirt. I wear it. I'm not a big Rams fan or anything, but when I was growing up, Alan, I was in this is a long time ago. We had Detroit cable and the Lions were abysmal back then. I'm talking we're going back to the Chris Spielman days, Wayne Fontes and all that. This is a long time ago. So for some reason, I grew an affinity to the Lions because that's what we saw on TV when I was growing up in the 80s. Back then. So I would say my number one team would be Detroit, just to go back to that area. Do you have one?
I mean, I'm a Jets guy. I mean,
sorry, I knew that.
Yeah. The Lions, though, back in the, what was good though about the Detroit Lions, and I won't take up much of your time, is that they were always on in American Thanksgiving, the American holiday Thanksgiving. They would always play. They still always play. So they would have a national audience even in the 80s. You're right. So that team, Detroit, Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys seem to have the biggest international followings of any of the teams, and it doesn't make any sense. And by the way, you said you went to a Rams game. Yeah. I'm surprised that you're not broke. I mean, to park your car there is like $200 American at this point.
Well, back then it was at the Coliseum. Still.
Oh, okay. It's long. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it was fine in that sense, but I always think about Dan Orlovsky. Saying now about Garrett Wilson, unfortunately hurt now. What did he say a little earlier? Garrett Wilson, he's just wasting his talents in New York. And he talked about this, and some guy texted Orlovsky and said, "Hang on a second, weren't you guys 0-16 when you had Megatron?"
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it happened. And look, it just seems like though Detroit has had their moments, right? Like this is probably the best opportunity they're going to have to go to a Super Bowl this year. It looks like they are probably one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to get there in the NFC. But man, there's certain franchises that are just hopeless, and it starts with having a good coach and a solid QB. And look, Detroit has that right now. The New York Jets do not.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun, Alan. I can't wait for our next conversation with the big Kozlowski. Thanks for coming on.
Anytime, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. That's Alan Kozlowski from RotoWire. Check him out. He's got like a million places to check out things as far as X and all the other RotoWire and all the calls and fantasy and things like that. Always lots of fun and obviously great insight. And he's right. This time of the year, when you get into that week 8, 9, you can taper your bench, if that's the right word, in fantasy football. And it doesn't hurt to go because of the trade deadline. And maybe it is a guy like Isaiah Davis. If somehow down the road here, like a guy like Breece Hall is moved out of New York with the Jets, Isaiah Davis takes over. Those are all things to look at with your roster. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show and bid adieu to the Duke. It's tearful around here. It's almost like we need to have like a going away party. So that's how bad it is. That's coming up after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Greger Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregerpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
The Hockey Super League is proud to launch its 9th season, delivering independent, borderless hockey. This year, over 125 teams will compete across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and for the first time ever, Colorado, USA, with showcase style action, cross-province rivalries, and a strong commitment to player development. The HSL is the premier destination for families seeking balance and athletes chasing the next level. The Hockey Super League. Hockey without limits. For athletes born in 2013 to 2018, visit hockeysuperleague.com to learn more.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I know a lot about how RVs work. I post videos on Facebook every week showing the weak points and how failures can occur. But even I don't winterize my own RV.
What are you saying, Rick? You don't think you could do it?
Oh, sure, Bob, I could do it, but I couldn't do it at a professional level. When you expect your RV to survive the harsh northern Alberta winter, this is no place for hobbyists. And I don't service used RVs all day, every day. Instead, I hired people smarter than me to do that sort of work. That's the team that winterizes my trailer, the same team that'll winterize yours.
Your RV service team works 12 months of the year repairing and maintaining used RVs.
That's right, Bob. If you want your RV working right in the spring, the real work happens now, in the fall. Our winterization packages start at just $99, and that includes a full report in writing. No surprises, just the great outdoors waiting for you when the last of the snow melts.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:47 in Edmonton. Oilers just on the ice with their morning skate. Lines for tonight's game against Utah. Basically how things ended up front, but a little bit different because of some possible injuries. So RNH McDavid, Mangiapane, put Coles and Draisaitl, Roslovic, Frederick Henrique Savoy. Now, there could be an injury here to, well, there's only 2 forwards on the fourth line that they're saying there's a possibility that they could go 7 and 11 with Regula coming in. But you got Nurse, Bouchard. This is from Jason Greger down there, by the way. Ekholm and Wallman. Kulak and Emberson, and Regula as a possible 7th defenseman, only because of injuries right now. So someone has asked Greger about Janmark. He's still on IR. He's weeks away anyway. But could go with Howard and Tomashek on the fourth line, which is quite different, obviously, than what they finished with Sunday night in Vancouver. So some possibilities in the sense where, who are we missing there? Curtis Lazar that played on Sunday night. Is that that's who we're missing, right, Duke? Curtis Lazar is not in the top, well, the 12. He played Sunday night. So Lazar is not there. I'm not sure exactly where. No, I mean, sorry, unfortunately, Greger must have missed something. So it's Howard, Tomashek, and Philp. So Philp returns in. This is according to Tony Brar. If you look at the lines are different, Duke? Am I correct in that? Yeah. So it's exactly what we said. RNH, McDavid, Mangiapane, put Coles and Draisaitl, Roslovic, Savoy, Henrique, and Frederick, and then Howard, Tomashek, and Philp. Then Nurse, Bouchard, Ekholm, Wallman, Kulik, Emberson. So it's the 3rd jersey unveiling tonight. Now, we talked about this before. Now, the other thing that I laughed at is when the coaches have on their tracksuits or whatever you want to call them at practice, they look like stormtroopers out there.
Yeah, because even the tracksuits are white. 3rd jerseys,
right? And they're all white.
That would be a pretty.
They almost need the white gloves or something. I've seen pictures and guys, or a white Oilers hat and have the white gloves. And if you're going to go stormtrooper, go stormtrooper.
We didn't talk about this and I'm sorry to deviate from the Oilers here, but we did not talk about this at all yesterday. The Steelers uniforms on Sunday night. What were worse, the Chargers all yellow unis or those Steelers one? Those yellow helmets were a travesty.
Did you see? Well, a lot of people talked about their pants, which were bad. But did you see the post that Mina Kimes, who's pretty plugged in and connected? Did you see her post?
I did not.
She took a picture of a merging traffic sign that's black and gold, and with the road going this way, that way, and then 2 roads going kind of to the middle for a merge or whatever you want to call it, and then put a close up of Aaron Rodgers. I think it was Rodgers, and showed the 2 of them together, and it was.
Do you think it was specifically designed that they're like, hey, Packers, we want you to wear your whiteout uniforms because we can't have both teams wearing yellow helmets?
I don't know. I mean, I have no clue.
I do like those Packers all whites.
Do you?
I do. Kind of like not all the time because the Packers uniform is such a classic, the green and gold. But it's kind of like, and same thing with the Bengals. I like the orange and black, like the stripes. But when they bust out the all whites, the snow tigers, snow leopards, once or twice a year, I like those.
Fair, but those ones were bad on
those. The Steelers ones were terrible. Like throw those in a bin, burn them along with the Chargers banana ones. The
Seattle yellow highlighter ones are bad too.
I just don't understand this trend, and I get you pile on me all the time about the Ducks looking like pylons out there, like
awful.
Why did teams feel the need to be purely monotone?
I don't know.
Or monochromatic, excuse me. Like
it's awful.
There's nothing wrong with an orange jersey and orange socks with black pants and black gloves. It doesn't all have to be orange. It doesn't all have to be yellow. That's the issue. That's why I think they look bad, is because it's monochromatic.
More importantly, in 48 hours and change, the Duke will be on a beach in Cancun. Not quite, because by the time you get to here's the other thing. When you go to Cancun, and it's a direct flight for you. Okay. So what time's your flight leave? 7
a.m.
You're going to get there at
I think it's just for 2:00 local time.
Okay, I was going to say 1:30. Now, by the time you get your transfer, your bus and shuttle, you're probably getting to the resort damn near when sun sets.
You think that long?
Yeah. By the time and here's the thing: when you get to the airport, I heard you and Connor talking about your first drink. Come on,
Come on now.
When you land at the Cancun airport, your first drink is on the outside of the airport at the beer stand, and you grab a beer.
Yeah, but Connor said not count. He said out on the resort, not at the airport.
Wow.
Because Connor's Connor's said this to me several times. When I went to the wedding in Puerto Vallarta, it was the same thing. They got like the specific shuttle that you get on through the booking that take you. There was no beers on the bus.
Oh, you've got to find they'll change that. And here's the last time we went, and it's a ripoff because it's $5 US a beer. They'll charge you. There'll be a guy in the back sitting on a cooler.
I'll pay it.
Yeah, well, so did I. I didn't care. It's $5 American, right?
Once I hit my 13 leg NHL parlay for today, and I'm quickly cashing in my ticket for about 10 grand. Yeah. Those $5 beers will be nothing off my back, man.
She don't matter, but there'll be someone on that bus. But once you get to the resort, I heard you're going. I think you said a spicy margarita. Yeah. You're just going with a margarita or something like that.
Fruitier the better.
Yeah, nah.
I love a nice spicy mango.
You're just getting into you're pounding them as quick.
I might just line up like 8 shots of tequila right on the bar and just. By the time all the people from the Calgary flight roll in.
What's the difference?
Their flight leaves, I want to say, like if mine leaves at 7, I think theirs leaves at 10.
Oh yeah, they're not there till 8 o'clock.
It'll be dark, yeah.
Oh, but it's dark.
Sorry, it'll be nighttime.
Yeah, it's 4:30, Duke, when the sun starts setting down there, man. It's gonna be tough for you. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
So and when you're back, I don't know. I'll text you on Thursday. The following.
Yeah, we'll
Thursday.
get it figured out for pizza pig out if we're invited, and then of course JR's shindig.
Some guys want to go to the pizza pig out with the pig body, Laura.
Really?
And I sent a little note. She's the honorary chair. She didn't like that. But we'll have a safe trip, Duke. Have a wonderful holiday. You deserve it, and good luck with the wedding and your beach attire.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue. Coming in.
Go down here. You got a day after the show. Go to these stores we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Find some proper beach. You know what you need? You need the Frank Costanza, your cabana wear.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably will have moths in it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thanks, Kev. Have a good week plus here with Donnie and the boys.
You betcha. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rush Up T-Bird,
Connor Helly, and the Duke of Delburne, his final show before embarking. 12 o'clock till 2. It's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell. We've got the Jason Gregor Show from 2 to 6, and then probably a little earlier rendition of the pregame show with Andrew Walker, Landon Ferrero, and Donnie B. We're back with you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by First Round. And, right now, Sunday's got even better at First Round. You can win an NFL helmet or a jersey, and you enjoy the Pro Bowl brunch. Only at Edmonton's NFL headquarters. First Round, that's downtown, right here in the mall that has it all on Bourbon Street. Ask for Mark Levers. He'll be the guy to talk to you for sure. Thanks, everybody, for texting in. Thanks for listening this morning. Really appreciate all the chat with the Blue Jays. Man, it's a great night. You got Blue Jays at 6. You got Oilers coming up at 7:30 against Utah. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Until then, here is Sam the Record Man.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Oilers in action tonight as the Mammoth charge into Rogers Place. Puck drop at 7:30 and Frozen Frenzy in the NHL tonight with all 32 teams in action, including the Flames versus the Leafs, Canucks against the Rangers, Sens in Chicago, the Canadiens heading to Seattle, and the Jets taking on the Wild. World Series Game 4 in Los Angeles after last night's marathon match. Shane Bieber on the bump for the Birds. Shohei Ohtani going for the Dodgers' first pitch at 6 p.m. And in the NBA, only 5 games tonight as the Sixers head to Washington. The Hornets and Heat face off. Knicks and Bucks go head-to-head in Milwaukee. The Kings look to give the Thunder their first loss of the season. And the Clippers and Warriors wrapping up the night. Coming up at the top of the hour, it's Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas here on Sports 1440. And this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilson.